All right. Looks like I'm back here. I'm back. Check 1, 2, 3. Nothing fancy to do. This is I'm gonna be co-learning some cloud native and Kubernetes stuff. This is again, in case you're wondering, um, you can go to YouTube. There's a playlist, and this is just random time every Friday and lately on Saturday and Sunday when I have time in the afternoon from 12 to 3 to just focus on Kubernetes learning so I can get better at my job. I'm actually paid to do this kind of thing, but I also want to get certified in CK and CCAD and CKS, and I believe certification is good so that I can help other people get certified also, so that if you choose to get certified, I don't think you need to be certified to do this job by any means, and I don't think certification is enough to get a job in this at all. But for many people, certification is going to be the entry point that's going to buy you that, time and that interview, and you're going to be able to get there. So, and it's been fun. It's been fun to go through it and learn a bunch of things. Lately, I've been doing a lot of minikube stuff. If you're here, by the way, say hi. So I know the chat's working in case I accidentally screwed that up. I tend to screw stuff up, so just in case. There are a number of things that I want to cover today. So I actually have a Zettel entry for this. Zettelkasten. That's my way of taking notes. You can look at that up. And we have, I've been kind of keeping notes in my Zettel that's about this. I got what did I call it? I called it Colearning, I think. Colearning. Yeah, there we go. So, CD into Zetter, and that'll get me in here. Oops, didn't work. It doesn't look like it works. Nope. I gotta fix that. Anyway. So yeah. So here's the log I've been keeping. I've been asking questions stuff. This is from yesterday. So this is the logs that I've been doing from yesterday. We were playing out the Kube API server. We have been, again, reading from the documentation in a graphic web browser, so that when I do the certification, everything seems familiar. Normally, you'll know me. I don't use the graphic web browser, but this is why I'm doing it. And this is where we left off. So, no, that was KubeSpawner. This is all stuff for work. So I actually stream some of my work on Monday through Friday as well, in the mornings usually. Actually, afternoon depends. But if you want to watch that, just come watch it. Schedule is twitch.tv/rdbxrob/schedule if you want to go check it. I've tried to follow it as best I can, but can't always promise that I'm gonna be perfect at that. Anyway, so yeah, that was a cool thing we just found out. I gotta go look at that. That's a school, a free education school for coding. I want to do a whole video on that. We're gonna talk about that right now. Although, it might be relevant. They did say that they covered there was some conversation about that they may have actually covered Kubernetes. Somebody mentioned this. We had some French people on this morning. It's actually originally started in France. It's all over the place now. And I'm just going to see if they have any Kubernetes stuff in here. Again, there's no structure here. This is just me doing what I feel is necessary to learn. Look at all those Macs. That just reminds me of what I did for my school that I built. Then we bought all Macs like that. Stupidest mistake of my life. I should have just bought, right? I started on Linux, and then I thought, oh, no, I need to do that to be legit. And no, mistake. Huge mistake. Don't spend that money. Don't waste your time. Learning your own pace skills for a lifetime. Download brochure. They have this huge brochure. I don't know if it's going to, I don't know if they cover anything. Functional programming, algorithms, and graphics. It looks like they have quite a bit of stuff that they cover. I have nothing to do with them, so I don't think I'm advertising for them. It just recently came to my attention. Open project, big web project, technology integration, Docker, visualization technology. I submit Docker requires students to participate. Everything that you need to know about initiating a project. Well, that's good. Network and system administration, system programming, Unix, Shell, and C. They teach. That's what got me interested in them. Somebody told me there's actually a educational program that taught that. They teach OpenGL too. It's just crazy. There's like a lot of things. There's a lot of things. It's like they've been focused on. They don't pay teachers at all. All they do is make content and get people together. So I don't see anything Kubernetes related on that, so I'm going to skip that. We were reading about the operator pattern last. We got distracted, and what it is and how everything is an operator. Let me just recap probably the last in 5 minutes what we did, what I did Friday afternoon to do my learning. We were going through, of course, home on the Kubernetes.io. We've decided earlier on, and we're just going to use Kubernetes.io doc. Any of the resources that are available on the certification exam are the only resources that I'm using. Period. That means I'm going to read all the docs, and then I'm going to try everything out, and I'm going to read all of the documentation for each of the tools that we're using: kubectl, kubadmin, kubemap, all that, and then just read everything that would be available on the test, rather than depend on O'Reilly or any number of other fantastic places to prepare for this exam. The reason for that is because I want to build a dependency on including the graphic format of the actual content. So we went through what is Kubernetes. We did that already. We've gone all through this. So this is, if people asked questions earlier. By the way, please ask questions. If you have questions, and I'll, if I can't answer it because I've already got my answer, I'll at least refer you back to the other thing. Maybe I can help you out there. Can't see the stream on YouTube. It says it's streaming. Did it do the private thing again? Public, done. Save. Go check now. Can you check for now for me? I could probably check it. Would somebody mind checking for me on YouTube? Please say hi in the chat. If here's why I was misleading, because it's actually streaming. It says excellent condition is streaming. I think I had it set to unlisted on accident because it defaults to that now. It's annoying as hell. If you don't want your videos to automatically get posted to YouTube and fire off a ton of copyright violations, can you see it? Oh, that's nice to know that I didn't have to restart the stream or anything. Thank you very much for that help. So here we go. So we have take a look at why Kubernetes is so useful going back in time. This you have traditional, then you have hypervisor, the VM stuff, and then the containers. If you don't know what a virtual machine and container is, you can go back and say that. You got to know that. So we went all through this. I'm not going to do it again. What Kubernetes is not. It does not do blah, blah, blah. Kubernetes components. So we went into Kubernetes components. What's a Kubernetes component? And this map, I love this. So I like this because it's kind of a mnemonic device. It kind of sticks in my head. And we were trying to establish what is the control plane, what does the dotted line mean, blah, blah, blah. So nodes are machines, whether they're virtual or otherwise. They are machines. They have a kubelet and a kubeproxy running on them. This handles all the communication network stuff. And this kubelet thing, it doesn't say that it has a container. It has to have a container engine, but I think the container is included in the kubelet. We haven't got that far. And then we have the API server. So we spent like an hour yesterday diving deep into the actual Kubernetes API server code, which is listed down here, API server, because I just wanted to know. I want to know what happens. Where does, the incoming request, we figured it out. It's like 6443 and 8080. So 8080 and 6443, those are the two ports that the main Kubernetes API listens on. It's this big, huge REST API. That's ultimately what Kubernetes is. And what's up with that, right? Okay, fine. What happens next? Where's the route? Where does it go to after that? And then we talked about mux and multiplexing and how plex means weave and not screen and all this stuff. And so what next? We actually concluded that the only thing that the API server does is it registers routes and stuff like, not routes, but they call them find paths or something. And all they are is they're just pods. They're just things to connect to, whether it be a pod or service or something. So Kubernetes itself its API also depends on itself. It's just a bunch of microservice pods that are running and they're listening. Hey, thanks for the sub. And so they're going along doing their thing. And what's etcd? We talked about etcd being like the mitochondria in a cell. It was consumed, and now it's a fundamental part of Kubernetes, even though it started out independently without it, and it still exists independently without. We talked about the control plane components. I'm trying to remember them because I'm trying to test myself. So this is the API server, etcd. This is where all this stuff gets written. It's like a big old Redis or CouchDB or something. It just keeps track. This is the thing you have to back up or you die. Scheduler takes care of jobs and everything. And then we have the CM, And this is a cloud manager. This is only, no, this one is. This is the cloud controller manager, I want to say. Did I get it right? I need to make flashcards. the CCM, the cloud controller manager. Yay me. All right, so open widget. Maintain smooth streaming. I'm not maintaining. Am I streaming not smoothly or something? Oh well. YouTube gave me kind of a warning there. I don't know what that's about. So that's what's up here. So we got the cloud container manager. So if you have a cloud provider like GCP or Amazon or Azure, this is a thing. This is gonna be hard for me because if they have anything to test on that, I don't have any interaction whatsoever with cloud providers. I probably need to. I've only used our on-prem stuff, and that's what this is. So this is the controller manager, right? Did I get that right? Kube scheduler, kube controller manager, cloud controller manager. So they took the cube off of the front of it. Control plane component that runs. When they say component, by the way, they mean like a pod or something. It's actually running on there. So etcd, high availability key value store, as Kubernetes backing store. And if your Kubernetes cluster uses etcd as backing store, make sure you back it up. Kube scheduler, control plane component that watches for newly created pods with no assigned node. This is interesting. So when you do k create pod or something, it'll go make a new node. We actually did that yesterday. Well, we tested the communication between the API server and the thing that does all the making of the nodes. It hangs around until it actually deletes or adds a node, unless you do like a deployment, which just bypasses that. Factors taken into account for scheduling decisions: individual and collective resource requirements, hardware, software, policy constraints, affinity and anti-affinity. So the scheduler is the real brains that's mapping a node. Where is this thing going to run, right? It's not just what time is it going to run. It's like a component can be a separate binary. Really nice. So the scheduler is misleading, right? It's not just a cron job. It is that, but it's also taking care of all of the matching. It's the matchmaker. I would rather call it a matchmaker. I'm going to do that. I'm officially going to call the scheduler a matchmaker because that's what it's doing. It's not scheduling is just one piece of it, right? It's also finding the best, place to run the pod or the job or the service or whatever. It's trying to find the best possible place. It's matchmaking. So it's doing the affinity thing. I think scheduler, fine, but the name is a little bit misleading. So I'm going to call it matchmaker. Scheduler / matchmaker. Watches with no assigned node. Factors. Okay. The kube controller manager. Now this one, I have no idea what this is. I have a feeling that this is managing the controllers in the control plane, including any custom CRDs, what is that CRD? Custom resource definition, and custom operators that you might be writing. We went on all kinds of geekitude yesterday about operators and operators being the future of deployment to Kubernetes instead of Helm, and stuff like that. But I'm going to try to avoid going down that rabbit hole today. Although I really am just chomping at the bit to get right in my own controllers, because I think that's where the future is. Okay, control plane manager, kube control manager, control plane component that runs the controller processes. A controller, it's a controller for controllers. Exactly. It's the second primary thing after API server. Yeah. You think the kube controller is the pods on master node, just more easy to manage? Yes. Yeah. So the kube controller manager, it's like Kubernetes inside of Kubernetes, right? It's just the kube controller manager is in charge of managing the controllers inside of the control plane. A controller by itself, and we're going to read about the controller. I want to read this again right now because I think it's so important to the whole thing, because everything is a controller at some level. A control loop that watches the shared state for the cluster through the API server and makes changes attempting to move the current state towards the desired state. So you have the API server or many, right? And the controllers are checking in. It's like, what am I doing now? What am I doing now? Do I have a new pod now? Is this pod not done? Does the scheduler want me to do something? And it's this loop. And you can write your own controllers. They have to have the controller model loop. And I'm going to click on that. Let's actually finish the read of that before I go on. So some types of controllers are the node controller, responsible for noticing and responding when nodes go down. So that all it's doing is asking the API server, are the nodes down or not? I'd be interested to see if it ever does anything outside of the API server, if it actually like ping or something like that to check if the nodes are down. That would be really interesting, and that's the software engineer in me that wanting to dive into the code and see how it does it. Because I mean, if you really want to get intimate with how something works, look at this code. Job controller watches for job objects that represent one-off tasks, then creates pods to run those tasks. Yeah, this is for jobs. Endpoint controllers populates the endpoint objects, that is, joins services and pods together, which is tricky. Service and account token controllers create default accounts and API access tokens for new namespaces. Interesting. So there's a bunch of controllers that are responsible for maintaining the control plane, the main guts of Kubernetes itself. And it sounds like they're all managed by the controller manager. And I believe that includes controllers that are created and deployed at a custom level, which is anything you might add to the system or have added through Helm chart deploy, Domino, Knative, whatever. Yeah, and you can actually list all of the APIs that are managed by the controller. There's a command to do that, and we'll look at that later. So Cloud Controller Manager, a Kubernetes control plane component that embeds cloud-specific control logic. So the only difference between this one, the Kube one, is the Kube one's only cares about the on-prem Kube that you're dealing with right now. The Cloud Controller Manager is integrating with whatever cloud you're using. I imagine this was an add-on at some point. The Cloud Controller Manager lets you link your cluster into your cloud provider's API and separate out the components that interact with the cloud platform from components that are only in your cluster. Now, this is super interesting because this is, from what I'm reading, and correct me if I'm wrong, the Cloud Controller Manager is critical to hybrid clouds, hybrid clusters, Kubernetes clusters. And I know this is the thing, and I've been reading all about it, but I haven't done it, where people are deploying some of their cluster components, their nodes are virtual machines on GCP. You can write a mesh framework in Rust. Good luck with that. And then the other stuff is all running, on-prem, which is, within your own network, which may or may not be virtualized, So, and then, you have it's all over API, so it just depends on the network latency and stuff. We actually had some conversations at work about that. Man, I'm getting lots of notifications there. All right, so the cloud controller only runs controllers that are specific to your cloud provider. If you're running Kubernetes on your own prem or in a learning environment inside your own PC, the cluster does not have a cloud controller manager. Duh. As with Kube Controller Manager, the Cloud Controller Manager combines several logically independent control loops into a single binary that you run as a single process. Interesting. So it's almost like a single API server just to talk to your cloud provider. Appreciate some corrections. Advance, or you appreciate corrections. What's that? Advanced material. Do you have corrections for me to make? Yeah, tell me whatever I got. If I ever got wrong stuff, let me know. The following controllers can have cloud provider dependencies. Node controller for checking the cloud provider to determine if a node has been deleted in the cloud after it stops responding. Route controller for setting up routes in the underlying cloud infrastructure. To make sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can say whatever. This is just a co-learning space. If I say something wrong, absolutely correct me. Even if you think you're not sure, because I'm just learning here. I'm not an expert, right? I'm employed doing infrastructure work and stuff, but I'm not an expert. So please, do your own confirmation and stuff. But I'm trying to learn to the point where I could be more useful in my opinions of how this stuff works. Service controller for creating, updating, deleting cloud provider load balancers. Okay. That's not as important. So Cloud Control Manager is a Kube Control Manager for the cloud. Basically. Node components. Okay, so the node components run on every node, maintain running node provided the Kubernetes runtime environment. Kubelet, an agent that runs on every node. So Kubelet is a single binary, from what I understand. It makes sure the containers are running in a pod. The thing I don't understand about this is who installs the container runtime. That's something I've been wanting to know. This is more of a infrastructure hardware kind of question that goes along with Kubernetes Cloud Native. Okay, that's super important to me. I'm putting that in my notes. So you have to install the kubelet. Okay, so I'm just gonna jump ahead. What do I have to do to make a node? So it sounds like, so I mean, I don't know if these are in order or anything, but you have to install kubelet, right? And I think you can use kubeadm, but I don't know. There's nothing with any code except master. Right. I was going to say, install kubelet. You have to install the kube proxy, right? This is new to me. This is brand new to me. I don't know how any of this is done. This is the infrastructure guy in me coming out wanting to know. But this also means you can't install either of those. You have to install container runtime, right? You know, and that would be like dockerd or Creo. And there's other ones, right? Yeah. So that is something I've been wondering about. I thought for some reason, I mean, this is what's misleading me is because minikube does it for you. This is why. Okay, so I'm gonna make a little conclusion here. I might even put this in here. So I'm gonna put a question here. What should I do to learn to practice this? I personally think that you should install minikube and play with it. And that you should actually build a small hardware, build a small on-prem hardware cluster. And I also think that you should integrate a cloud. I think you should probably actually build a small cloud cluster and build a small, you know, on-prem hybrid cluster, which you could just add to your on-prem hybrid. Did I spell that right? I think if you, with that minikube from the ground, yeah. You can do it with a VM from the ground up. Yes, I know. So who knows? I mean, maybe that would be better. Maybe there's another step in here where we do build a virtual cluster using only VirtualBox VMs. I mean, I think this is a really valid way to do it. I kind of want to do it all these ways. The reason I'm putting this down right now and I'm concerned about it right now is because this minikube stuff is actually misleading me sometimes, right? Because it installs a Docker, it sets up the worker node for you, and that's fine unless you want to learn how to set up a worker node. You don't know how because it did for you. So, you know, it picked my container runtime. It created a. Actually, I don't even know if it created another. It didn't create another node, as far as I know. Maybe it did. It's to learn for CCAD for developers. Yeah, I know. But not for CK. Yeah, the CK you actually have to start building stuff. So, yeah. Yep. I might say that. So yeah, to get the CK, you got to do more. And I have to kind of decide whether I'm actually trying to study for all three at the same time, because I mean, you know, I kind of want to have all that. I should probably. I mean, maybe I should target CK first and just stick with minikube. That might be the thing to do. The CCAD, and then just go there. I don't know. We'll see. So, yeah. So I was just wondering how it got on there. So this node component stuff is in the infrastructure space. You know, within Kubernetes, there's kind of a whole spectrum of tasks, and this, you see this on my team. On my team, I'm kind of in the make this software work in the cluster kind of space. Even though I'm technically an administrator, I'm kind of administrator / developer, right? Deployment guy and DevOps guy, whatever. And I don't touch the nodes at all. So I did restore a node recently. I rebooted it and stuff. But my point is, you can't get the CKSS without CKA. I think you're talking about the CKS. It's only got one S, as far as I know. Yeah, you have to have CK. So this node stuff is usually handled by the infrastructure people. So it's very common that you would have, somebody who's a sysadmin by trade, long term, is now all of a sudden they're an SRE, and now they're a cloud native person. How long should I learn before taking it? That depends on you completely. Honestly, that depends on you. Yeah. An agent, you have to learn how to self-assess, and that's tough, right? It's tough to figure out how much you know. If you're not running your own cluster, if you're not running your own hardware cluster, I would never take the CK. Look, I know everybody has told me over and over again, you don't need to know all that stuff to get the certification. You're learning way too much. You don't need to know that. Yeah, but I want a job. So if I can learn the same stuff that's going to give me the job, and it's stuff I have to learn, if I build my own Kubernetes cluster on hardware in the cloud and as a hybrid, I can say I did it. So I'm going to go into it with a higher confidence level. And then if I layer onto that, of course, the tasks that are necessary to complete the CKA, while I'm doing it, and I can repeat those tasks several times, that's going to make me much more qualified to take the test. And if I blast through the test really fast and I waited way too long to take the test, who cares? Because I've got the skill. And the piece of paper was just something I wanted eventually. So yeah, year and a half, get good. Who did it on half a year? Yeah. In 8 hours. Yeah. There's tons of, it just depends. It depends on how much you know, right? It is something you could pretty much go in and figure out. I am an exhaustive kind of guy. I'm probably not going to take the test until I've read every line of the Kubernetes code. Because that's how I am. I have a deadline, thank God, so I won't be doing that. But that's just how I am. I have to know, like, what protocol are they using? Why is it talking that way? And none of that's going to be required for the test, absolutely. But that's just how I'm learning it. Because I want to be a core developer eventually for the Kubernetes project. If not, writing controllers. That's my end goal, is to be a systems, a cloud native systems developer in addition to just an infrastructure engineer. I've been a developer my whole life. I would say probably 60%, 70% weighted toward development. The exam gives you 2 code. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we were actually going to go in there just to see what we would have it available. And that's how we found out that there's only VI. You get Vim or Nano. There's no Emacs. And there's no fucking NeoVim. Cluster actually mean? A cluster is just a bunch of nodes. And nodes are, here, I'll show you. We'll back up a little bit for you. So, and the term cluster caught me off guard. If you're an old person like me, you remember the term cluster referring to all kinds of things, like actual clusters where they would put hardware and they would network connect, multiple pieces. And, I told people before the story, I interviewed for a high performance in the health industry at IBM as a position, and they were actually making real clusters. They were, putting hardware in there and connecting them together. A Kubernetes cluster is very specifically a bunch of machines, virtual or otherwise, of any type or style that are running a kubelet and kubeproxy, the end, and a container engine, which they're not showing here. Why are they not showing the container engine here? You cannot have a node without a container engine. That seems like an omission on their part. I think they should have had a little thing that says container engine. Because that's you can't have a kubelet. Maybe they think it's within the kubelet. I don't know. So let's go back. So you got the kube control manager. We're going to read about maybe they're going to correct us here. Here we go. Nodes. So what is a node? A node is a machine, node components run on every node, maintaining running pods and providing Kubernetes runtime environment. Kubelet, an agent that runs on each node in the cluster. This is the main endpoint. And make sure the containers are running in a pod. Kubelet takes a set of pod specs that are provided through various mechanisms and ensure that the containers described in those pod specs are running and healthy. A kubelet doesn't manage containers which were not created by Kubernetes. And this gets abused all the time. This line right here, I know because people tell me to do it all the time, and I say, no, I'm not doing that. You can go onto an endpoint. You can go to an endpoint machine, a node, whatever you want to call it, and you can use Docker on that machine. You can use Docker on that machine or whatever. You can actually use this Docker command. It doesn't matter what the container runtime is or podman or whatever. In the installation section, nice. Okay. So people regularly go over there and they use the Docker that's on there. Sometimes they'll even mount the socket inside a pod and bypass the whole system. And then they'll use containers that are not included in the, it's a bad thing to do, but you can do it. And people do it all the time. Advanced another because it may vary, right? Okay, so kube proxy. Kube proxy is a network proxy that runs on each node in your cluster, implemented part of the Kubernetes service concept. It's just, this is basically, this is the microservice that's representing the node on the machine. So you can think of kube proxy as a microservice. Kube proxy maintains network rules on the node. It's the thing that blocks inbound access. These network rules allow network communication. This isn't Trafic. That's a different thing. These network rules allow network communication to your pods from network sessions inside and across your cluster. Kube proxy uses the operating system packet filtering layer, if there is one. In other words, IP tables on Linux, and it's available. Otherwise, the kube proxy forwards the traffic itself. And god damn, this is how you get in trouble, because if you've done anything fancy with your IP tables for other reasons for infrastructure, which we have, it can really fuck up your Kubernetes setup. That's all I'm going to say about that. I think that's exactly where it's happening in our system. There's our problems with GPFS, and they're related to this. We don't know if it's being caused by Kubernetes configuration that's making changes to the packet filtering layer that's blowing out the existing changes or not. But suffice it to be said that the overlap between kube proxy and this system's own packet filtering, IP tables, can cause merge conflicts, because you can be doing things on the system in the packet filtering layer, and then kube proxy is also doing something in the packet filtering layer, and I believe it has write access to it. So that's a point that kind of scares me, because this piece of Kubernetes software is now got access to your TCP/IP, IP tables configuration, and that if you've done anything funky or fancy with your machines in general in your enterprise already, using routing rules inside of IP tables in your standard image build for your nodes or your machines, and then Kubernetes comes along and does something different or doesn't understand how you've done those configuration settings, then somebody gets confused. The routing gets messed up with the node, or the nodes can't talk, or they're not on the network, or worse, it fucks up something else that's actually not related to Kubernetes because you're depending on a configuration a particular way, and kube proxy decides to mess with it. So this is something I want to look at really carefully when I get into this, because I really want to know specifically what kube proxy is doing to the packet layer filters. The very specific question I have is, I'm going to write this in my log, can kube proxy alter IP tables specifically? So does it have permissions to do that, or if it's just read only? Can kube proxy write to IP tables config? And I want to be really sure on that. You just nuked and threw Docker and a VM on top, and that was a better practice anyway. Nice. I don't want to bork the router, which my random IRC bouncer container. Oh, right. You can disable it. Borking IP tables. Yeah, Docker can. It can. Yep. It's actually another reason that I'm all about minikube, because if it does do that, it'll happen only inside a minikube. I mean, minikube is a virtual machine, which depends on the routing rules set up by by the VirtualBox. And yes, virtual machines can mess with your routing and stuff, but they're largely safe from that. They just provide a new IP address. That's it. And there's many reasons that are starting to build up in me that make me want to use minikube over kind, despite the slight bit of friction compared to getting it running, compared to kind. You nuked your router? Wow. Yeah, Docker on the master node. What I'm reading here, they mentioned engines in kubeadm. It's advanced stuff. Okay. Docker on a master node. Docker is the same thing. Yes. In iptables mode, kubeproxy attaches rules to the NAT pre-route hook to implement a snack and load. It doesn't really. So that means it is writing, definitely creating rules in iptables. That is a big deal. And there's IPVS mode, right? It definitely does attach rules to the NAT pre-routing hook in iptables. So that's a big deal, man. And dude, any software that touches iptables configuration is automatically a huge red flag to watch that sucker like a hawk. If they have some crazy bug or something, they can end up opening up your entire network to attack. Seriously, if they, yeah, it's a NAT router like mine, yeah. If your machine is also a NAT router. So the takeaway from this, if you're a beginner like me, is be very cautious about how kubeproxy does its thing, and you know, in my opinion, you should make the most plain Jane nodes possible that don't have their own routing and stuff. Because why? Because I mean, you can get really screwed up by having it mess with iptables at all. iptables is tough enough to understand if you don't understand. If you're not, I mean, there's stuff in front of it now to help you manage it better, but are involved only in Kubernetes CIDR stuff. Yeah, I mean, but what happens when they're not? So I mean, you can say that, right? I've been around the block long enough. I'm not attacking you, but I've been around the block long enough to know that when a software says that, oh, we only touch the Kubernetes, CIDR stuff. We're only related to Kubernetes. We only change iptables for Kubernetes stuff. We promise. Never trust that shit. I never trust it. I mean, in a perfect world, yeah. So as an admin who's been watching shit break all the time, having any vendor make changes to my iptables configuration makes me extremely uncomfortable. Makes me extremely uncomfortable. Because especially if we're not behind a firewall, we are, of course. But if you're out in the cloud world, God, I mean, there's so many things that could go wrong there. And I'm not suggesting they do or they have. I'm just saying the fact that kubeproxy complicates iptables configuration. Let's give me for instance. Okay, let's say that you have an infrastructure team that's responsible for keeping your nodes running and blah blah blah. They're completely independent, and they don't know or care about Kubernetes. They just know you got to put this kubeadm thing on there, a kubelet on there, and just kubeproxy on there. Boom. All right. So let's assume that you got it all deployed, your nodes are working fine, and you got container run pods running on there, and along comes an infrastructure engineer who doesn't know better, and he blows out the whole iptables thing. Because why is there an iptables route system here? We don't do that. We don't do iptables on these systems. If they were to blow out the iptables thing, they would destroy the kubeproxy, and the kubeproxy wouldn't run, and then all of this stuff up there would be reporting is not working, and they would get drained, and they would get put on something else probably, which is why we have Kubernetes in the first place. But my point, that's why iptables should be not on node. Yeah. So what you're saying is, but on the gateway. So let's pause on this point, because it might not be explicitly stated, but I think what I'm hearing you say, Black Mouse, and sort of arriving at on my own a little bit, is Just don't fucking use IP tables. Let it be separate. The problem is if it's, so this is what I want to know about kubeproxy, and I don't know because I'm brand new. Is kubeproxy going to detect that IP tables is on there and not let me do IPVS or whatever the alternative is? I mean, I know this is just a summary of what kubeproxy is, and we're going to go deep dive into it more, right? It should not be on the node, right? So, yeah, okay, but if you're saying that when you say node, I think you mean machine, right? What you're suggesting is it's bad practice to put IP tables on a machine that is also a node, right? And I would agree with that, but I don't have that option. In fact, I know that because in our specific deployment, I mean, I 100% agree with you because we got really fucking burned by this. So we have hundreds of thousands of machines that have all been deployed with IP tables. It is a part of the standard machine image and has been for more than a decade. And I'm not going to get into why that is, but that just is. And up to now, the deploying the nodes have been, and I'm speaking out, I mean, I really don't know the history, and I'm really new at this stuff. And there's so many people that if they're listening to this are like, this guy's only talking about, that's fine. But I'm just telling you, there are legitimate reasons that IP tables will be installed as a base part of the infrastructure team will build systems with IP tables in them with specific rules that the enterprise desires. Even though it might be better to put it on a router, it doesn't matter because the legacy requirement is that has to be on there. So you either have to get an exception to the rule and remove IP tables from that, or configure kubeproxy to not use it at all. And to use it, even though, so that's why I was asking you about kubeproxy detecting the existence of IP tables or being able to override the configuration of kubeproxy and say, no, I only want to use IPVS. And I want to use IPVS for kube. I don't want my kubeproxy to ever invoke or be involved with the IP tables on the system. But the very nature that a misconfigured kubeproxy could accidentally start getting interested in the IP tables thing and make NAT changes or something that could get blown out by some automated configurator that's been built by the systems teams to do IP tables, synchronization. I mean, there's any number of reasons that IP tables could be blown out either by a non-Kubernetes thing or by a Kubernetes thing, and it could be changed and the expected result would not be in sync. And I would suggest that was the source of a major outage that we had recently related to GPFS, but I don't want to get into it, related to ARP cache and all kinds of stuff. I don't know, but that I'm starting to get a handle on who's doing the networking and how the networking is actually being implemented, and I didn't have that low-level knowledge before, so I'm able to form a few a few guesses right now as to what was going on. So yeah, so just a package for kubeproxy is perfect and must be, but custom ACL should be not an exact machine, but on a gateway. I agree. I completely agree. That makes sense, but that's not how enterprises deploy. At least not mine. So, I mean, you can't go into an enterprise who, for whatever stupid ass reason, has decided to have a custom IP tables configuration on every fucking Linux node. And you can't go in there and tell them, oh, I'm sorry, we can't run Kubernetes here because you have IP tables here and it's going to conflict. You can't do that. So what's the options? And I this is kind of CTO level decision making here. So I'm interested in this topic. Because, the Docker Swarm as well ended up doing. Yeah, you did. Yeah, put the ACLs, but yeah. You're talking about putting everything on where they should be. I mean, you guys are talking about setting up infrastructure properly as if you can run Terraform and re-infrastructure your whole place. No. I'm talking about working with existing infrastructure, and they're saying, hey, you can have these nodes, these machines, turn them into nodes. I'm like, I can't because why do I care? Why do I care? And why do you potentially care? Because if I'm being asked, let's say I'm being hired as a consultant, and I come into a company and they have all of these extra machines that are sitting around. Maybe they set them up once upon a time for batch processing using containers or something. And I go in and I start trying to make nodes, which is something I've never done. I've never built a node ever for Kubernetes. But I'm just kind of role-playing what it would be like. It would be like, okay, well, what do you got for us? And I'm looking at my own systems. I got, a bunch of, Mac minis that are running Linux or Rancher or whatever the fuck. But if I go to an enterprise, it would be like, well, we have all these old systems, but they have to run this standard image, and we have this and that. And I'd have to, and then it would say, then they would ask me the question. They would ask me a question: are these systems going to work for you? And I'm supposed to be the consultant. I'm supposed to say yes or no, right? How do I say yes or no? Those systems are going to work. What are the criteria? And this is solidly CKA stuff. And I know I'm jumping way ahead, and we're just talking about kubeproxy in a bit, but I'm jumping way ahead. So actually, good page from the authors. Oh, I'll have to go read it. So if they're asking me, so they say, hey, we got these 100 server nodes here in a rack that nobody's using. Are they gonna be good enough? What are my criteria? So first of all, they got to have at least more than 4 cores or so, or they're not going to it's not even worth it, right? Because it can be a single core, but then you're only running single core jobs. You might as well at least have 4 cores. How much memory does it have? Those things. What's the CPU? Does it have a GPU? Those are all kind of interesting topics depending on what kind of jobs. That would be the question I would ask back to the person paying me. The consultant's like, what do you want? What kind of jobs do you want to run? Well, we got these high performance machine learning jobs that require CUDA. Oh, well, there's no NVIDIA at all. Forget those. They can't use those at all. This is the kind of, high level decision making I'm talking about doing right now. One of those decisions is related to what we've been just talking about. And that decision is, do you have any customized IP, routing going on? Anything special going on with these computers in terms of their, by the way, it doesn't have to be Linux, right? No, I take that back. It does have to be Linux kernel. You can't even have a container runtime unless it's a Linux kernel. The end. So, at least not this type of kernel. So you ask the question, well, are you doing anything special with routing? And that's a nice way of asking, are you fucking with IP tables? And they say, well, we've got this IP. I might not know to ask the question until just now when we were reading this. I wouldn't have known to ask about what is going on and say, no, they're just standard. It's just standard, base routing. Like, oh, fine. Okay. So that would take a kubeproxy installation probably much easier than one that has IP tables on. Because first of all, am I going to be able to reimage the thing? And I go, well, we can reimage it. This guy's like, you have to have these IP tables rules. And then if I go deploy a kubeproxy and find out the Kubernetes decided to fuck with the IP tables, I'm assuming it's going to do the right thing anyway. But if it didn't, so my other question I want to know for myself, and I don't know this, I'm asking, is can I disable kubeproxy explicitly from using the onboard system packet filtering? That's what the operator says. It says it uses the operators if there is one. I assume that means it can be turned off. You're telling me it can't be turned off. That is a problem. To me, that's a problem. So I'm just going to say it and until you don't provide another thing, right? So what I'm hearing you say, and I'm making damn sure this is in my notes. What I'm hearing you say is if the IP, if first of all, we're making an assumption the IP system packet filtering layer is IP tables. It's not. It doesn't say that. I assume that's what they mean, and I've heard conversations that worked enough to know that's what they mean. You're going to install Calico or Flannel, or some other thing, right? If you're disabling the default IPVS or IP tables, you're going to install something else, right? So what I want to know is under what circumstances would kubeproxy do the forwarding by itself? I'm not aware of the ability to uninstall IP tables from a standard Linux installation, period. What do you mean, yep? So, I mean, you can't, I don't believe you can. I'm starting to think about really lightweight machines here, disabled in the kernel. Right, okay, you can. So, oh, thank you very much, Victor. So you can disable IP cables in the kernel. I wasn't aware of that, but it makes sense, right? Because we have really tiny machines these days and they don't have all that extra kernel shit in them. So, went on a shitty OS without a firewall. Yeah. Cluster administrator networking. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting there, dudes. That's another page we'll go to eventually. So this is good. This has been good enough for me to move on. So one possibility would be to disable. I would have to rebuild those machines with a different kernel, or I have to disable the kernel. I could disable packet filtering of any kind in the kernel if I didn't want to fuck with IP tables. And then I can just turn it off and force it to use kube proxy to forward its own traffic. I imagine that's what K3S does. K3OS. I bet that's what it does. Does K3OS have? Does anybody know? Does K3OS have built-in IP tables turned off? I bet it does. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not even included in the kernel build. K3OS is an operating system made for ultra small devices for K3S, which is an implementation of Kubernetes for edge devices and tiny environments running, on, tiny microcomputer ARM kind of things. And it doesn't have much space. So wasting space on IP tables might not have been done. I don't know. So I'm trying to think about, because that's actually one of the target areas I want to do. Not only do I want to write controllers for Kubernetes eventually, but I specifically want to write really high performance, awesome kernel controllers and sensors and applications for edge Kubernetes developments and deployments, because that brings in like C and like in electronics and shit, and that's a really exciting place that I really want to go to. It's like a computer engineering application of Kubernetes, which I fucking love. I really, really want to go there. We're a long way from getting there. But if I don't, fully have the controller model memorized and everything that I would have to do for enterprise Kubernetes, K3S marked IP tables as legacy. Seriously? That's funny. Is Raspbian marked IP tables as legacy? Oh, Raspbian did. Really? Is it because it's not IP tables? What's the one they run on top of that? There's another. I forget what it's called. I think it's. What is it? It's not IP. No. There's another one. There's another one. There's a layer. I thought it was just a script utility on top of IP tables to make it easier. I forget what it is. Yeah. You can check the installer script for K3S. I think. Yeah. And thanks, Derek. We're getting lots of great input here on Twitch. You can check. It says you can check the installer script on K3S, I think. And if tables has the same backend though, yeah. There's another short. I can't remember the command now. I'm totally spacing on my network stuff. It's not IP. It's another one. There's another one that is softer. It's a softer way to do IP tables. Nobody types IP tables anymore and does it directly. They use this other script on top of that. I can't remember what it is. But IP tables is, when I refer to IP tables, UFX. Thank you very much, Mosh. You win the prize. UFW. Yes, UFW. Yes, UFW. That's the one. I think it's just a Bash script or Python script, right? I can't remember which. It just covers up the complexity of IP tables. It's a pain in the ass. And I should say, Kubernetes. I'm sorry. When I refer to IP tables, I'm talking about the stuff in the kernel. I'm not talking about the scripts about how to get to it and stuff. IP tables is a command as well, but it's all that firewall stuff is in the kernel. It's a kernel module, but yeah, a firewall command, by the way. Is it? Didn't realize. Yeah, is it called firewall CMD in the other ones? Yeah, I didn't know. I spent a long time on the network, screwed out with networks. I miss it, actually. I really, at one point I was destined to become a network engineer. I was bound and determined to do it. I was like packet filtering with Wireshark and Linux, and that's when I caught the hacker from Amsterdam on my system. So I think it was Amsterdam. It was either Amsterdam or Germany. I don't know. I can't remember the language. So, all right. So back to the container runtime. This is what is not indicated up here. This is the thing that's freaking me out. So they have this beautiful picture up here, right? What time is it? Man, we're making good time. They have this beautiful picture up here, and there's no indicator of the container runtime. I think they should have put a container runtime here. And I don't know why they didn't, because it's misleading. There's not two pieces here. There's three. You can't have a node without a container runtime. And yeah, this suggests that you possibly could. And I don't like that. So I think this, I'm going to make, you know what? I'm going to fix this. Does this say submit something? I'm going to do it right now. If you find a bug like that, I'm going to submit a bug report on this. I'm going to say, please add the container runtime as a major component on the node, because it's misleading. It's not only is it an important component, it's the most important component. You shouldn't do container runtime as an afterthought. It should be the first fucking thing. I don't know if you have Docker, hate that's going on that's keeping you from putting it in there. What do you mean it's not it's not a component of Kubernetes? All right, fine. You're right. It's a prerequisite. Right. So, okay. So why not? All right, fine. You at that. I 100% agree with that. If this chart says Kubernetes components, then container does not exist. Does not. But you need to like draw it into your own picture of it. They don't put the kernel in. Oh, come on. Give me a break, Mosh. I mean, come on. Fine. You win. You win. You guys are right. I'm going to just defer. You're absolutely right. This diagram would be so perfect if it had a container runtime. Why am I looking at it? Because I'm trying to look at stuff I need to install. I know I need to install fucking Linux on a node. Okay, I get it. I don't know that I need to install a container runtime. So if I'm, infrastructure engineer and I have no idea what I'm supposed to do, and I go to look for it, I go talk to the Kubernetes person. Whatever. If I'm the Kubernetes guru, pretend, and the infrastructure guy comes to me or girl, and they say, whatever, and they're like, what do I need to do to get you a machine that'll run Kubernetes? What do you want? Somebody told me to come help you. I have no idea. I've never used Kubernetes. I hate it. I think it's a stupid thing. Tell me exactly what you want. It needs a container runtime. Okay, what one? What's a container runtime? You mean Docker? No. It needs Creo or whatever. Okay, install this. All right, got it. And then install this kubelet thing. And then install this kubeproxy thing. Got it? And then I'm going to say, by the way, you're not running IP tables over there, are you? Well, yeah, we can run it. Blah, 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 blah. All right, can you disable IP tables in that kernel so that we don't use it? I don't know how to do that, but I'll go figure it out. How many system administrators know how to disable IP tables by doing something in what is it? It's probably, what is it? Dev/dev. It's not /proc. It would be / what is it? It's /kernel. Where are all the kernel configured? It's driver or something. God damn it! I can't even remember my file system anymore. I am getting so old. Fucking fuck. I cannot remember my standard file systems names. That is just unacceptable. That is unacceptable. It's not proc. What is it? Opt. It's not run. It's not root. It's opt. No, it's /dev. It's probably /dev. It's /dev, right? It's got to be dev. Yeah. It's dev. It's dev. It's definitely dev. No, guess not. No, standard devices. Is it opt? Which one is the inside into the kernel? It's not boot. I don't know. I mean, maybe it is proc. I think it might be proc. It is. It's proxys. Oh, I let myself. Well, okay, I got it right the first time. Still there. My first intuition was right, and I overthought it. Because I was like, oh, proc is only processes. No, it's not. It's actually got lots in it. It's not. Proxys. But the reason I knew this is because proc is the only like freak the fuck out. See, it's not mounted, right? It is not a file system. It's not tempfs. It's nothing. It's created by the kernel. What am I sipping? Oh, this is just soda water. Honest. I got wild drunk last night, but I would tell you, I would never hold that information back from you. This is the only reason. So it's just soda water because I'm yeah. But it probably did make me forget. I won't lie. And plus, it's also in the afternoon. In the afternoon, I'm kind of getting punchy. No hangover though today. I was once. I had a friend. She said, take 2 ibuprofen, drink lots of water before you go to bed. You'll never have a hangover again. I did that and it worked. It works every time. So, because it dilutes your most of your hangover is dehydration. So it dilutes your blood, lets it do its job better, and then the water hydrates you and gets you over the hump, and then you don't have a hangover. True story. So there's everything in proc. That's what I don't know why. So like uptime, right? You can change. Basically, you can cat people. You can cat numbers into files and overwrite the files with a new number, and you can change kernel settings using proc. So if you don't know that, that's a Linux thing that I temporarily forgot. Usually people go in proc, they think of it because the PS command, this is something I didn't know until last year. The process, the PS command itself reads /proc. Fun fact. Yeah. I always thought that the PS command itself did some secret syscall shit to get all that. Nope. All it does is read the stuff from /proc and present it in an organized way. That's it. Everything's a file. Everything's a file in Linux. Super cool. It's just so brilliant that they did it that way. They designed it that way. It's so cool. Everything's, yeah. Moshi, we probably said it at exactly the same time. Moshi's like, after all, everything's a file. Yep. It's part of the Unix mantra. Yep. All right. So what's next? Kube Control Manager, blah, blah, blah. Cloud Control Manager. We already talked about that. I don't want to talk about that anymore. So nodes. Okay. So we spent a lot of time talking about nodes. So, okay, smarty pantses. You're giving me shit for having a list container runtime. If container runtime isn't how am I saying this? If container runtime isn't a component, a Kubernetes component, then why the fuck do they have a strong heading here for it? Why did they just leave it out? I don't see them putting the kernel here because everybody knows the kernel's there. They put it here because people don't know there's a container runtime there. Having to deal with registries. Yeah. I'm sure they're going to say it. Yeah. They're trying to confuse you. The container runtime is the software that is responsible for running containers. Oh, really? Kubernetes supports several container runtimes, Docker, Container, Creo, and any implementation of the Kubernetes CRI runtime interface, which was originally created mostly by Docker. That feels like it was written by a Kubernetes person who doesn't like Docker. It doesn't say anywhere there that is not a component. It says that's node components. All right. It says, okay, it says no components. It doesn't say Kubernetes node components. You hear what I'm saying here? I am going to make, where's the documentation? I'm going to do it right now. It's going to settle. It's going to make me feel better. This big empty fucking white space right here needs a container runtime link. You know what? They only put this because it's the only things that are connected, but I just want to have it here. Just put it right there. Just put it right there. Put a nice picture of like, put like one of 3 different things. Say, pick one of these here. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't that be nice? You just put it right there. And then I can put this on my wall. And somebody say, what's Kubernetes? Right there. Well, where's Docker? I heard it's all about Docker. Oh, yeah. Well, pretend there's a Docker in this thing right here. They left it out because it's technically not Kubernetes. How can you have Kubernetes without a Untitled Chapter? Anyway. You're role-playing again. That's what my wife says. You're role-playing again. You always do that. You role-play all the time. I had such a great date last night. It was so fun. It was really fun. It was a tiny little, we didn't even go downtown or anything. We went to like a tiny little, but she was showcasing it at the mill. It was pretty cool. All right. Container runtime. Let's just keep on reading. I'll do the thing later. Let's see how a detail can fix attention of the cat. Amazing. A detail can catch to fix the cat. Are you talking about how easily I am to derail from the primary goal? Because that would be true. Add-ons use Kubernetes resources, formerly called objects. Thank God they changed it. To engine. I mean, yeah. Dude, these things matter. OCD. Add-ons use Kubernetes resources. Daemon set. Ooh, daemon set. They use the word daemon. Try speaking that into your phone. No idea what it is. I was like, fuck. I can't use anything in my interface that's not conversational, so I had to put service there. Service is so boring. I like daemon. Daemon. Oh my God. Who? I can't read that, but you guys can have fun with that. All right. So add-ons use Kubernetes resources, daemon set, deployment, etc. One pod per node. What are you talking about? The daemon wall. Yeah. I know what a daemon set is. Thank God. Add-ons use Kubernetes resource daemon set deployment to implement cluster features. I suspect Istio is one of these things, or Prepooler and Jupyter Hub. The Jupyter Hub Kubernetes Helm chart uses two daemon sets, actually, a Helm Prepooler and a Helm Puller, to pull down, to keep track of the images that are going to be used in your Jupyter Hub deployment, and to keep them updated and synchronized in the local container runtime without you having to think about it. And at first, it looks like you shouldn't be doing it, and I actually think it's probably a good idea because it speeds up. The reason people don't like it is because it forces every container to always have, every node in your entire cluster to always have a copy of it. And you don't want that, right? Because not everybody's always going to be running it. So because these are provided cluster level features, namespace resources for add-ons belong within the kube system namespace. Because these are provided cluster level features, these are in the kube system namespace. That is the control plane. I'm going to go remind myself of what the control plane namespace looks like right now really quickly. So get pods, no found in the default namespace. Do I even have a minikube? I don't think I do. I have to make a minikube. Yep. mk start -- driver equals virtual box and -p foo. So I'm making me a new one. Yeah, I don't have any pods yet. Yeah, -- all namespaces. Look, there's a new minikube. Set want update notification false. Oh, that's interesting. Get pause -a. Yeah, that's the one I was gonna do. Capital A, right? Thank you for that. You guys are on it today. This is awesome. Awesome. As you can tell, it takes a little bit longer and kindness to be done, right? Because it just puts it all in Docker. But it has to allocate CPU and memory and stuff. I always delete mine before I play Dota because that's not, my computer's not happy if I don't. All namespace. Oh my God, I would hate that too. Yeah, I've never done that. I always is capital A or whatever. I remember. I haven't done all this one. Configure RBAC rules. All right. So here's my minikube. Yes, kind is cool, but minikube was cooler for learning in particular. So kube control is now configured to use foo cluster. The thing I really love about minikube that kind does not. Actually, kind does it. Take it back. I won't say that. It does it. Okay, get pods. Or get po. No reason in the default namespace. I don't believe you. Oh, I know why. This is interesting. It's because I did the profile. Yeah, this is interesting. This is something new. Context. See what it did? It's not in the default namespace. Intéressant. I made myself a new cluster. I got 2 clusters now. There's no pods in there. So wait. Okay. Pods -a. Shit. Pods -a. There. Yeah. All right. So it's all kube system. So that's interesting. So kube system is it true or false? I'm gonna put this in my notes. True or false? I'm making my own questions. True or false? Are all control plane resources in the same namespace? True or false? Are all control plane resources in the same namespace? It would appear true. So, and that namespace is always kube system. Even if it's dealing with nodes, or sometimes it's just stuff on etcd. This is how we know, right? Because this just deployed in etcd, and we know for a fact that has nothing to do with the node. That stays up in the on the control plane nodes. But you can split them. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you definitely can split them. But yeah. All right. By default, yes. And they are in kube system, which you can get with kgetpo kgetpo-a. All right, so that's good, and that's fun. That's fun to know that. Custom scheduler stuff can be in other AFK. Yeah, yeah. I mean, any CRD I think could be in a different namespace, right? Actually, you hate kube control. Which one do you use? I mean, I've aliased mine, but yeah, that's not an alias. It's a shortcut command because they work with watch and stuff. Anything better now? Deploy SVC. I know. There's you know what I hate is there's cluster roll, there's CR, but there's no CRB. It's like there's no consistency whatsoever. That kind of shit makes me crazy. You guys see how long I take to name something? That kind of inconsistency makes me insane. To those type of people, like, fuck it, we'll just get to the thing. That's just a user thing. We don't care. Let's get to the real stuff. That's just bike shedding. It's actually not bike shedding. Your user interface is super important. The end. So get the CR cluster rules. I don't have any cluster rules. Oh, wait. No, yeah, I know. I don't have any. I haven't added any, but that's what it is. Wait. Get create CR. No. CR. Fuck. Oh, right. I have to give it a name. Unknown command CR. Well, I'm telling you, there's some that you can do with it. I don't know if that's the one. I'm probably messing it up. I'm sorry. I don't remember. I don't deal with cluster role bindings very much anyway, but there are a few of them that are like that. That's my point. Add-ons. Okay, so those are all in the kube system namespace. Yay, hurrah. DNS. Is core DNS standard now? I'm going to jump right ahead to my question on this. Is core DNS standard? I noticed from the landscape that core DNS was a mature project just like Kubernetes, and I want to infer from that core DNS is now the standard, just like etcd became, the mitochondria kind of taken in by the cell. That core OS is now another cell component that's been taken into Kubernetes and owned inside of it. Envoy, we know that Envoy is built into Istio, and Istio is not necessarily directly in yet. Wait, where's it? Is Istio here? I'm getting confused. That's the container runtimes. Oh no, it's not. Left. etcd core DNS. Yay. Okay. Graduated projects have Zillet я не имею понять, что это. So, oh, that's pretty. I hadn't seen that one before. It's incubating. That means it might be here soon enough. It's got a big old icon. It must mean it's important. I mean, if we haven't learned anything, it's all about the size of the icon. I don't know why that's a thing. Maybe because bros. Let's see. CNCF graduate, KV, whatever that is. VTES, no idea what that is. I'm just telling you, I don't know what that is. IBM TP2 is on this project. Holy shit. Talk about memories. MariaDB. These are all databases, so therefore it's listed. Hadoop. Our new managers from the Hadoop team. Cockroach Labs. Cockroach is pretty good. Cassandra is ancient but good. Crunchy's good. God. Where's InfluxDB? Is it not here? That's time-based. I bet time-based has its own category. What do you bet me? I know I'm getting distracted. I can hear you saying that. Also, I can't read anything because dark mode. Where's InfluxDB? I don't see it. I placed the guy with them, so that's why I'm wondering. Russian version just for that. But don't scroll to the right. Go low. Yes. Okay. You're talking about core DNS? I found already. There's no influx? There's no influx listed at all? What the hell? It's probably an observability, I would bet. Because observability and logging, because that's what it is, time-based. Yeah. Yeah, time-based probably don't go in the raw database, right? That would probably go under, like, where's Elasticsearch and that shit? I'm guessing. I actually know what these things are now, some of them. It's just so much here. Timescale can be there. Yeah. It's like a treasure hunt. We're playing a Where's Waldo game. Whoa, Creo is incubating? I thought it was graduated. Containerd, that's right. Containerd is the CNCF one. Containerd is the one from Docker. I thought Creo was graduated. SmartOS. OpenCard Sienna. I don't know. I'm really distracted. I need to get back on task. Legato. Oh my god, I haven't heard that name in a long time. Oh, that's with an I though. I think that's a different thing. It is. I love it when young Silicon Valley like venture capitalists rename something that existed like 10 years ago and don't know. And they don't know. They just make them, and it's happened a couple times. Yeah, they'll go build something. They like, hey, we're cool. We made this new thing, and like, you just use the same exact name. That one of them's Teleport. I worked for a company named Teleport Internet Service, one of the biggest internet service providers ever. I'm scatterbraining your chat. Why? I switched to the Russian version. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't watching, so you're fine. It's no more scatterbrain than usual. This is just get your popcorn, throw it at your study buddy. That's what we're doing here. There's this real no formality at all. Canonical is a Kubernetes, a certified Kubernetes, a Kubernetes. I'm not in a good place. My brain is not. I hope it sinks in. The reason I asked about CoreOS is because when it says DNS, they said etcd on the other thing, and they don't say CoreOS under DNS. But I feel like, so question, true or false? When you install Kubernetes, it automatically installs Core DNS. True or false? Question. When Kubernetes control plane is installed, core DNS is also. Isn't that default? You choose? Do you have to choose? It is default already. Same as KubeSpray? KubeSpray is default? Same as KubeSpray. KubeSpray is the thing that like causes you to have kubelets, right? Isn't it? I thought that was an infrastructure thing. What Kubernetes control plane is installed, Core DNS is also. When? Yes, by default. I think. Yep. So I mean, I'm trying to decide what I'm gonna have to install here. I should just do it, but I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. So Yeah. We'll go there. I promise we'll go there later. So there has to be DNS. It's really important that you understand DNS within the Kubernetes cluster. This is something that when I was doing my Jupyter Hub deployment, I didn't realize. So let me give you an example of why I would care. So you can go back and watch the videos of me deploying Jupyter Hub into our Kubernetes cluster. And the way that we do it, there's several pods that the hub, the proxy, the scheduler that are related to Kubernetes. I mean, they're related to Jupyter Hub. And by default, it will launch a separate pod that has a container in it for every running Jupyter Hub that people can log into and they can interact with, blah, 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 blah. And it's named for them and it's reaped after it's not used, blah, blah, blah. But you have to make a custom advanced configuration to get it to work, to run in the user's namespace and have all the user's quotas apply and, get information about the user and all that kind of thing. And eventually, hopefully mount, network attached storage and all the different things you might want to do to allow them to run their own notebooks from attached storage and things like that. But as soon as you do that, you're now running in two namespaces, right? So now you have all of the pieces of your Jupyter Hub deployment and other stuff, service stuff. And before that, the spawned user pod, exactly what it is, it's not a deployment, it's a pod, would be within that namespace. But when you do this customization, which most people want to do, it goes over here, and now it can't talk back to its proxy. So now it can't talk to the hub because it's no longer in the local. So why does DNS matter? This is the first real burned kind of lesson I had with DNS. So as long as everything is running in the same app namespace, all of the localized DNS things resolve fine. So for example, in the configuration, the home chart and, the Jupyter Hub stuff, it would refer to hub : 8081 or 80 whatever. And it would work. It would work because the DNS was all being resolved within the same namespace. As soon as I did the customization, which is not included in the home chart, and therefore they didn't have logic to fix this. Is what's why I'm prone to operators eventually. It didn't make any changes. So I made a custom change to do the spawner thing, which was not within the scope of the home chart, even though extra config let me do that and pass those values, the configuration, which is just Python, straight into Jupyter Hub. So now I have this thing over here that has no idea how to talk to its hub component over here. Why? Because it's trying to access hub : 8081. And hub : 8081, it's fine, I don't see anything in my namespace over here, my individual namespace, to do that. I would have to fire up a hub over here for every user. We're not doing that, right? So the fix for this was to figure out how DNS works in Kubernetes by default. And it's very formulaic, but I did not know this going into it. So it always ends in .local, and I believe it's .cluster before that, and .svc before that, and then whatever. I'll show you. So, but the point is that I had to force the single user pod, I had to add a configuration variable to say I want the fully qualified URL, hub, blah, 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 to the full DNS path, just like you would do if you were having, communication between two separate networks. Because why? Just because that thing was running in a different namespace. So pods within the same namespace resolve all their DNS everything really easily because it's all localized, right? And it just figures it out. But as soon as you put something in a different namespace or a different cluster even, you have to start using fully qualified DNS. And if you don't, you get burned. And I did, because it was confusing because it was all within the same application deployment. But because I had forced this one pod, even though it needed this other infrastructure, to be over here, I also had to disable Istio sidecars and all kinds of stuff because it couldn't find the right place, the right path, because it was in a different namespace. And it all came down to fixing the DNS resolution location. So I don't know if that's going to help anybody, but just make sure you understand that. One of the things that I did there, I'm going to show you. So what? I keeps doing that. Am I in the wrong? I don't have anything in there. All right, let me create a pod. I'll show you. So create. I mean, how should we do a pod or a net? Should we just do? I'll just do a net shoot. This is a little script I have. I'll give it to you guys if you want. Give her a net shoot. So there it is. It's RDBX Rob / net shoot. I think. Oh no, wrong thing. Whoopsie. There's nothing there. So here you go. It's in my doc files. Sorry, this one's a bit better. So this is what this is it's just fires up a pod, like a single container pod that runs Nikolai's net shoot command, which has I think it's I want to say all it does is you run it. So this is running a shell inside my minikube, and it's really cool because this all by itself is like shell access, right? It's like, so I'm going to be switching this for the boost. We're not going to be using Docker Desktop anymore. We're going to use minikube plus any number of things. So they could use netshoot, you could use minikube SSH does the same thing. Anyway, so uname -a, I think this is Ubuntu. Uname -a. Netshoot Linux. I don't know, man. It doesn't have LSB in here, I don't think. No. I really want to look at it a little bit more. See what distro it is. Is it BusyBox? No, it's not. Not BusyBox. It's full distro. So of some kind, I don't know which one. It has Bash on here, Bash 5.1, which is awesome. Anyway, it's fully packed. It's got nmap and everything, right? But the reason I showed you this, this is actually a nice tool to have because you can just run that net shoot in whatever your current context. It will inject a extremely useful network aware pod right into the exact space you are. And so if you need to nmap around and see how networks is configured from as if you were logged into a machine that's in this sort of, imaginary grouping of machines, which are just pods containers. The release file, I didn't look at it. Is it release or resolve? I don't know where release is. I know there's a standard place for it. I don't remember it. I know it. Oh, Alpine release. It is Alpine. What? No, I don't believe you. That means that they install Bash on it. Yeah. Yep. Yep, there it is. Yeah, it's BusyBox. So Alpine's built on BusyBox. It is Alpine. I fucking love Alpine. I just do. Alpine is my favorite OS. I'm just going to say it. I mean, if you're going to have a favorite for absolutely no reason at all and with no qualifications about whether it's a desktop or a gaming or a server or anything, I just think Alpine is so fucking cool. It's just so cool. First of all, it's all GPL2. There's no GPL3 in it at all. They added Bash on this in a job in main laptop. Are you kidding me? I don't know if I go that far. Just because you can't. Yeah, it's just so awesome. I love that it's built on the BusyBox kernel. I just love that. It's not a kernel. It's a tool. BusyBox was I did not know this, but I actually was building a Golang version of BusyBox without knowing it. And then I discovered what BusyBox is. It's a multi-call binary. That's what it is. It does different things depending on how you call it. It has all this stuff embedded in it. It's everything. My favorite OS is Emacs. Still joke alert. Okay, so mtab, still funny, but because it's true. People make jokes about Emacs being an operating system, and then somehow they are okay with it not being anywhere near compatible with Unix philosophy. Soon it will release a text editor. Oh, that one got me. I need that on a t-shirt. I need that on a t-shirt. My favorite OS is Emacs. Yeah, I heard it before. Yes, but did you know that they've scheduled to release a text editor next year? Why is that so funny to me? Oh, I can't get over. I'm giddy. I'm really giddy today. That is weird. That is really weird. I'm sorry. I'm kind of loud. I'm gonna totally I gotta soundproof this place because I'm driving my family crazy. Even with the door closed, I'm driving my family crazy. I'm really glad to use it for writing code. Yeah. We mainly package a Python application at work so we can use Alpine. It's too slow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We mainly package a Python application. Yeah. Yeah, well, that would probably not be a good Alpine application, right? Yeah. I mean, right tool for the job, right? Alpine is a really minimal, if not the most minimal besides BusyBox, Unix engine. Unix container, we'll say. Because it's not an engine. It's a Linux engine. Not Unix at all. Sigh. Anyway. We're done building a PHP parser and Emacs list. Building an ID, programming PHP. Yeah, do whatever, man. Whatever makes you happy. Whatever. So what I was trying to show you, though, is resolve. So see to Etsy. This is, if you don't have DNS on Linux, DNS gets written to resolve.com. If you're coming from the traditional world of Linux systems administration or Unix systems administration, you know that the resolve.com file is often edited by people. At least it used to be. And these days it's, on a desktop, you don't touch it, right? Because it's going to go written by some network config somewhere else. And that would be true now. So moral of the story, don't fuck with resolve.com because it's created by the container runtime. And it'll just get blown out and stuff. But what I wanted to show you is this. So this is the default DNS configuration for every single pod, or every container in every pod. So by default, this is the DNS resolution path. So as you know, you can put anything on the front of this that you want to. And so this will refer to the service and to the cluster. And I like this because the reason, if you could imagine sort of a concentric circles growing out and out in terms of network scope, right? So for me, logically, it helps me to visualize this. When people say in cluster, it's like, well, what do you mean? How far in cluster do you mean, right? So do you have on the outer ring, you have your Kubernetes cluster itself, right? It is entirely encapsulated away from everything else on your network. And strictly speaking, without modification, its only connection to the outside world is its API, running on port 8080 and 6443. That's it. That's the only way it talks. And there's no ingress by default, which means you have to provide your own mechanisms for getting into it. And so, so that's the outer ring, if you will, right? And then, as you get closer into your specific thing running, however it's running, you start to zoom in on other little, so you can imagine other little circular things inside of the bigger circle. And the outer layer is cluster, right? So anything that's within that service, and the service is usually the thing that's, there's a service running inside of Kubernetes, and it's usually composed of lots of different things, maybe even combine multiple namespaces and stuff like that. And then you get to the default, like this is the namespace, right? And then you get into the namespace. And probably the area that you're probably going to be working with the most, in my opinion, is a bunch of stuff that's in the same namespace. And to me, that's kind of the connection. That's kind of the package, if you will, for your Kubernetes app. In fact, most cases it will be app equals, that'll be the label again, it'll be the namespace. And in my case, it's default here, right? Because it's just whatever. But that provides you that provides you all the sort of layers that you have to unpack. And if, as I mentioned with the Jupyter Hub thing, if namespaces I had two namespaces separate, right? So I have like a namespace over here for my personal namespace, and then I have a namespace over here for Jupyter Hub, everything running in Jupyter Hub. And when before I forced Jupyter Hub to spawn pods in users' namespaces, it was spawning it all within the same namespace. So the DNS resolution, it was hub, it was essentially that. It would be hub.default.svc, whatever, right? And that would work out. It would work out just fine. So you can refer to things by name, just like that. But as soon as I pushed it out of the namespace, I had to, instead of putting default here, I had to go to an svc.cluster.local. So I put this in there. I'm not saying I put it here, but in the configuration file, I wrote hub.svc.cluster.local. Why? Because actually, no, I wrote hub.jhub.svc because that says, look, we're still in the same service, but I'm actually in a different namespace. So can you go connect to that namespace over there? So the DNS stuff, this DNS stuff was very, very unclear to me when I got started. And I can't tell you enough how I actually need to probably draw a diagram of that for myself to make sense of it. I mean, we could almost do that right now. This is learning time. How much time we got? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go get a diagram. I'm gonna draw it because it helps me to visualize. No Dota, stay away. Diagram. Why isn't it finding it anymore? They changed the name of it. I guess it's not in here anymore. Why isn't it installed anymore? Damn it. Damn it. Software sheet. I think they changed the name of it. It's not Dia. Dia is a great tool, by the way. I love Dia, but this is not it. Have you guys ever used Dia? It's kind of dated, but it's really great. They have plugins. I actually generated the entire DSL domain-specific language for our database using Dia. It was all a huge diagram, and they have a plugin for it that will generate SQL from it. It's really freaking cool. Draw.io is the one I was looking for, though. So, yeah, Dia is kind of a better tool, but Draw.io is kind of more modern looking. My wife, she's gonna get her iPad. She's gonna get her iPad tomorrow. She's super excited. No, Monday. So open filter on Draw.io app not found. I don't believe you. You just said it was installed. Liar. All right, now open. Oh my God. Where are my configurations? My eyes are burning. You guys know Dia? You know why it's doing that? It's doing it because it thinks it's trying to do dark mode. Yeah. I hate that. All right, so configuration. No, cancel. It's a great tool. It's free. I actually talked to the creators because I didn't want to recommend it to people before I knew whether it was truly free or not. There is a number of things you can do here. I think it's an Electron app. In fact, I know it is because it was a web app before. Yeah, and that's the only good thing about Electron. People can like make apps out of their web apps. I know it's dark. I'm trying to find the. You guys, where's the configuration? Says software sheet. To jest soft говно. To jest soft говно. Software sheet. But it's not sheet.
Твой софт говно.
Sorry?
Software shit.
I never get tired.
Твой софт говно.
Sorry?
Software shit.
iPad plus Raspberry Pi plus USB-C gadget is great. Yes, it is. Oh, hello there, Chinchilla. Welcome. So, I'm trying to find. I think it's just properties. Compress. No, obviously that's not it. Cancel. Where the fuck is it? I can never find it. It's like page properties or something. Dark mode. Really? All right, fine. No, you don't have to do this. I know you don't. They changed it. Fucking extra theme. Thank you, Black Mouse, as usual. There it is. Yes. Oh, thank you, Muchly. Thank you, Muchly. Why do I have to restart? Doesn't make any sense. Fine. Fine. I will comply. I will comply because I want it for the greater good. This does not look like dark mode to me, draw.io. That is not draw mode. That is not... You guys suck. You suck. Draw. Restart application. Okay. And file. Close. Create new diagram. Blank diagram. I know I'm trying. Will you just give me a break? I'm working on it. Don't blame me. Software sheet. To je soft говно. Fuck. Will you just fucking take... I don't believe you. You promised me that last time and it didn't work. Okay, is it because it's not off? Oh my god. Oh my god. Open. Nothing. Nothing. I'm just sick of shit software that doesn't do what it promises. Oh, that worked. That worked. So I have hope. I now have hope that this is actually going to do what it says. All right. It must be because I started a different way. All right, here we go. Close. Close. All right. No, I don't want a new one. Thank you very much. Close. Open. Well, what the fuck? Apparently you have to do it like 3 times. It's definitely flatback. Yeah, it is. Kind of. Yeah, but I don't use Visio. Look, it didn't change it. So tell me what makes it take. Do you have to do it like 3 times and then like look into the mirror? Because it don't look like it's changing to me. What the fuck? Oh my god. Does anybody know why I hate GUI so much? I just lost like 1 million viewers. Like old dude yells at cloud with a GUI. You know, whatever. This is fuck it. Draw.io, you just lost me. I am no longer using your fucking asshole shit of a product that can't even do basic theme configuration right. I mean, come on. Did you even test this shit? Did you even test this shit? Did you even try to test this shit? I mean, am I being defeated by some sort of web configuration? Maybe that's it. I mean, I'm just fucking annoyed. You know what doesn't do that? Dia. Because it was actually written by people who know what the fuck they're doing. They're not web script kiddies. I'm angry. Obviously. You just wasted my time. I hate it when my time is wasted by shitty software. Software shit. Software shit.
Твой софт говно.
Sorry. Seriously, people.
Software shit.
If your basic theme shit doesn't work, don't release it. Oh my god. I mean, Dia has problems, but they're different problems. They're not GUI problems. They're different. It's also a Debian. Time to use PlantUML. Uh-oh. Oh, because this is a Debian. Yeah, this isn't flat shit pack. So, I hate Flatpak. Yeah. I don't even know why I'm doing this. I just wanted to make a circle. I just want to make a pretty circle. You know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to get my tablet connected and just draw circles. I don't need it to be pretty circles. I just need to be able to draw circles, and I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do it. I need to get a tablet that works really well. I have a tablet that like has input into here, and I don't have that. So yeah, open. There's die. See how fast it came up? Look how pretty. And it's already dark mode because except for this. So we could probably change that actually. Let's do it. I love Dia. You know, I don't know why I ever left you, Dia. I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. Can I please change my page though? Plant UML. Emacs mode for Plant UML. I don't do UML anymore. I was deeply addicted, and I am done. I am really done. Orientation, yeah, I would much rather have that kind of normal user. Yeah, just user. Bottom top A4 paper size, of course, because it's European. Scale. Okay, I got that. Okay, that's all good. How do I change my paper size? I'm gonna change my paper type. What's this? Toggle objects. Nope. Toggle objects. Nope. I want to change my background. Diagram properties. And so I'm telling you, it's kind of weirdish. Background. Oh God. How about we do this? Apply. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. Page breaks. Yes. Let's do white. More colors. How about this? Oh, right there. How about that? Apply. Ooh, okay. How about even less? How about I need to make a groove box themed. You know I'm gonna do it. I mean, groove box themed like grid. At least my eyes are not burning as much. App for the win. I agree. All right. So what was I even doing? Circles. We're drawing circles. That's all I wanted to do is draw a circle. And I don't need some fucking tool for that. I should be able to just doodle it. And I wanted to doodle it. Oh, it's like, this is like very old GTK kind of stuff. If you know what I'm saying. And it's like yellow. I don't know why it's yellow, but it is. So yeah. And I gotta lock it. I need to lock it. I don't remember. Come on, lock. Which one is it? Oh, there it is. No, is that it? Is this one? I just want to lock. I want to lock on the circle. Yeah. All right, fine. Fuck it. I don't know why I'm doing this. Why don't I? This is every problem. I just need a diagramming tool. Okay. All right. I'm gonna take a moment to do this while you're here. I'm sorry. So. How could I make my iPad into a monitor? GIMP is nice too, yeah. I need a pad for that though. I have a pad. Does anybody know? I mean, I know we're off topic, but probably you guys don't care, but I mean, I'm not using Windows. There's a million ways to do this with Windows or Mac. What I'm trying to find is a nice... I've never actually really researched this. Exclusively. I love Inkscape. I fucking love Inkscape. Yeah, I could do Inkscape. I made a whole game. I made a whole card game in Inkscape. So, this isn't related to work, but I'm actually really seriously interested in how to get my iPad doodling in real time. I don't know. I'm going to do a little research on that. Just like this. You have a tablet for this? I mean, I have a tablet, but I want to have a tablet that talks to Linux, that shows up on screen, that I can turn on, you know? What would be even better is if I could overlay... It's not going to... Oh, yeah, it is. I absolutely know it is. Because you can make... All I have to do... I already have a monitor input thing. And so I can put... what you can do is you you can have the iPad send its signal. You can have it plug into something like to send a signal like an HDMI extension, and then you can have it be a monitor. The difference is you have to have it send its signals in. And if you do it in OBS and you overlaid it, if you overlaid it properly, you can actually have it right on top of everything else with transparency underneath. I talked about buying an iPad. I plan to steal it sometimes. Yeah, I have mine, and I doodle on my iPad all the time. What I want to be able to do is doodle on the screen, and there's many different ways to doodle on the screen. I think probably the best way is to just get a tablet. You know, if I just get a tablet. Oh, how's it going? Welcome, YouTuber. So what do you got there? Go Markable stream. This is fun. Thank you for helping me out with this little sidetrack. This is probably a Remarkable stream from our using local Wi-Fi. This project does not need to hack install on the Remarkable. Oh, you're using Remarkable. I want to get Remarkable so bad. I think this is the one I was looking at. Wacom. I have like three to five Wacom tablets. I have all kinds of Wacom tablets. I'm just not using any of them right now. It's basically a Linux tablet of sorts. You can SSH into it. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I probably have to have tablet support. And I have to just figure out what I'm going to doodle on is a problem, right? First, I have to go dig them out. My tablets are like really buried. I need to go find them. I need to go through all of my old shit. I've got so much electronics that's just sitting around, not being used, because I had the school, you know, and so I need to go get that. Kevin reached 10 subscribes. Hey, how's it going? You mean concurrent users or? Oh, I see. That's your name. That was very nice. I recently started learning Golang because of your videos. Oh, thank you, Pratham, for saying so. That makes me happy. Did you see us like coding around this morning on Go? I might actually do some more of that coding tonight if I can resist the urge to play Dota all night. So I'm gonna put that out there. I am kind of winding down. I kind of want to go for a run. I'm actually go running early because I have been sitting here a long time. I've been sitting here since like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. I'm getting kind of antsy. I kind of want to go. And I want to talk about this Wacom stuff. I don't want to bore you guys with it. I could probably just do the research on that. If you use Wacom, get Kriya. Oh, Kriya, I know. Kriya or Krita? It's Krita, right? Yeah, I know. I actually just saw that. I have a Dell. I have a perfectly good Dell that blew up. The battery blew up in it. After a year, I paid $1,700 for this shit. I have had such bad luck with Dells. I absolutely love how this Dell looked and worked and everything, but I have had such bad luck with Dell computers. I have fantastic luck with Dell monitors, but Dell computers have been shit. I have more luck with Acer computers than I do with Dell computers, and I cannot explain it. I can't explain it. I have no way to explain it. So rather than buy yet another tablet, which is faster and easier than me searching through my storage unit for the next 5 days, I'm gonna look through and see what I can find. Yeah, I'm not slamming Dell as a company. I mean, you know, they got different divisions and stuff, but I'm just telling you, every time I bought a Dell computer, it's blown up within a year and a half. I've never had a Dell computer last longer than a year and a half, ever. Every single one has gone down. And one of them was my laptop I was using for work. To be fair, it's usually my primary tool I'm using all the time. And I got the 15-inch, which has got the drawing pen on it and everything. It's got a tablet built in, and it runs Linux. It's fucking awesome if I can get it to work. You know, and then you like draw on it. I think the future is probably Wacom for this. You said there's a specific tablet for Linux. I think there's pretty strong Wacom support for everything. I just have to. I think I'd probably have to get credit for the tool. Yeah, I think I already have credit. Do you guys mind me just checking that out a little bit? Because a lot of times you guys see me doing this a lot, right? And if I could visualize, and I've seen other streamers do it. There's a lot of other really great streamers who use, you know, better methods than me. They're usually from educational backgrounds. The X230. I don't know about that one. But I tell you the truth, I love a freeform diagram any day over some gritty kind of shit. I mean, I like them both, but yeah. So what is one Krita? That's the one I actually installed that on my. That's what reminded me of my laptop. I have it on my laptop right now. Software sheet. It might be time for me to put music on. My industrial music. Okay. Actually, we're supposed to be doing Kubernetes cloud learning right now. I'm trying to create a diagramming tool to do the cloud learning. This is going to still go in the cloud learning video. If you're still here watching and you're waiting for more cloud learning content, it's probably not going to come. So, if you're watching this YouTube video after the fact, you can probably shut down now and be fine. If you just want to see me screw around installing Krita for the next hour or two, that's fine. I'm just going to wait and kill this video after this is done. Actually, you can grab any wake I'm going to make, all view in OBS. Oh, yeah, but no, wait. That has to be are you talking about Linux OBS? Because Linux OBS is different. This I know. So, did I? Oh, good. Glad I pronounced your name right. I have that problem too. Winter waves. Yeah. Well, thanks. So I'm not gonna. I'm just doing other shit. So if you want to talk cloud native, we kind of left this off on this whole conversation about node networks. I don't know when I'm going tomorrow. I might do a little bit more Kubernetes training tomorrow. Tomorrow morning I'm going to be going tonight, and tomorrow morning I'm going to be doing Go programming most likely. My wife's not going out tonight. She says she's too tired. But tomorrow we're going on a mural walk. If you watch our Instagram tomorrow, we're going to have lots of cool shit on our Instagram tomorrow because we're going to be going on the mural walk. And what's this here? Krita is snap. Yeah. That's, I know. I've heard, I actually installed it, but you don't want it. I'm just going to see. You know what I really want? I want something that allows you to draw on the screen in OBS and stay there permanently. That's what I really want. And I don't know if that exists for Linux. I haven't done any research in that area at all. How Docker containers are system resources? Not that bad. No, because they just reuse the kernel. They're way lighter than a VM. That's why people like Kind instead of minikube, because minikube uses a 2-core VM that saps memory permanently, whereas Docker Kind installs Kubernetes emulator and Kubernetes single cluster inside of the running Docker containers. It's really lightweight. That's why containers are so popular. And a separate program as source and make a scene, same as the camera. Yeah. It would have to be the application. The application would have to be running in the background, right? The problem is if you ever turn the application off, that scene goes away. Yeah. So, minikube can run a Docker too? It can. Yes, it can. That's a relatively new change, though. I don't like thinking of it that way. It confuses people. It's the only option because why? You don't have a virtual machine installed? Installing modules that connect to Unix sockets on my system. Well, yes. But you're going to have to expose all the sockets, right? You'd have to do that in either Docker or minikube or anything. You absolutely can. I do that all the time. Getting late. Yeah, take care, guys. I appreciate you guys visiting and hanging out. I'm kind of off in casual land now. There's Miss Krita. Wow, it opened it and ran it. This is some kick-ass software. I just want to say I love this software. I played around with it on my Dell before it died, and I really love it. VirtualBox for M1 and minikube M1, but minikube work with VirtualBox driver for M1. What? You can't work with VirtualBox driver for M1. Really? That's super interesting. Is that on your new Mac? Black Mouse, that's really interesting information. Thank you. Because I mean, one of the reasons I was going to go, okay, so I was going to move to, I mean, I'm doing choose your own adventure in times of learning, like go your own way, but I was going to actually shift to minikube because I thought it was such a turnkey solution for Mac. But if you're telling me the M1s are having a problem with it, yep. If you're telling me the M1s have problems running minikube with VirtualBox as a driver, but then I guess you can just use Docker as a driver and install Docker on there. And did you do Docker Desktop for your install or some other method? Yeah. No, that's fine. I'm just curious. I'm curious because I'm trying to find the most ubiquitous, easiest method to get a terminal as fast as possible, and I'm right on the verge of deciding. I'm right on the verge of deciding between Docker Desktop and minikube. And as usual, I'm going to give people the option, but my recommendation to most people is going to be do minikube with virtual machines. But if you're saying it doesn't work with M4, because, and then Windows people are going to want to do Abyssal 2 versus, just so many options. And I want to help people understand the options and kind of zoom in on the one that's best for them, even though I think the preferred method right now for me is minikube plus virtual machine, VirtualBox. So I start a new file here. Wow, it's so pretty. Create. All right. You still use minikube? Yeah, the problem is, and that's fine because all the commands for minikube be the same. You see what I'm saying? It's just a minikube in a container. Yeah, I know, and that's the default. It uses Docker container. I mean, you've just about convinced me to use minikube no matter what. So there's 3 reasons I'm going to go with minikube for the boost as the primary thing. One is the standard. It's the one that's using Kubernetes.io. I mean, although, it's the ones that's used on the examples. Although that when I went to the same examples page, I swear to God, they added kind and kubeadm to it, which were not there before. It said get it running. Before I could have swore minikube was getting all the attention. And so that was one of the reasons. The second is, of course, you can install it on Windows or anything or Mac, and you don't have to pay any money. Docker Desktop, technically, you got to pay money if you're an enterprise user. It's proprietary software. I don't want to support that. And I guess 3 is that if you have to use a Docker environment, you can. If you already have a Docker environment, and that's totally fine. It makes me wonder. I guess the IPs and everything would be fine too. I just want a universe. I don't want to have to learn all the kind commands and the minikube commands. But besides, minikube has way more commands for configuration than kind. Kind doesn't have a ton of them, and it doesn't need it because it's all Docker stuff. The one that's really going to turn the tide for me is the use of Docker. What do I want to say? The contained environment. The Docker environment's the side of Docker. Yeah. So. You can run Linux on Metal on M1. Yeah. Everybody has that option, but yeah. And even with this issue with VB driver, I still prefer minikube over kind. Oh, really? That's interesting. Black Mouse. Are your reasons for liking minikube similar to mine? In terms of like consistency and stuff. Hey, look, it's Greta, and I can draw, and I don't even need a tablet. I probably could. Now I just need to find my tablet. I'm good to go. How do we full screen this? How do we full screen? Full screen. Wait. No, that's not it. Alrighty. Come on, I know you got it. I know you can do it. I guess not. Window, full screen. New view, unnamed workspace. Wow. Big vector, animation, small vector, important. I haven't used it that much. I don't know. View, roller show, wraparound, software. Jailbreak, you should do it. Live dangerously. That looks like something I drew. Good old Krita. I need to change my category to art now. You don't agree? You don't agree? Fine. I don't want to be Apple. It was awesome. Oh, you know what? Look, Apple makes great products. It's a horrible company. It makes great products that die within a certain time frame, even though they shouldn't, because of the battery, not because of the hardware. The hardware is awesome. It's a bunch of moral dilemmas there, obviously. Yasmin. Oh, look at this. I just don't like the dark. How can I change my back? I know, I'll just paint it. All right, where's my eyedropper? This makes me want to do Inkscape. It's vector art. Yup. You're a resounding yarp. Are you telling me there's no paint bucket? I guess not. I should have known better. Oh, wait. Background. How about that? Paint layer. Background. I want no background. Yeah, okay. I want background, but I want it to be dark. Make my background so. Yes, we want it this color. Why did you not do it? Wait, what happened? Wait. I layer style. Oh, that's the layer style. I see what it did. It just changed the color of the layer. I see. It didn't change the actual color. Okay. Homebrew? I use Homebrew all the time, yeah. Paint bucket first column. There it is. That doesn't look like a bucket. That's a fucking bucket. People. That is not a bucket. I protest. Homebrew, yeah, Homebrew is the thing that people use a lot. This is pretty awesome. This is way better than GIMP. Yep. Where's the foreground cover? I mean, it was here and it's gone now. Probably cover up here. All right, fine. Okay, so fine. I'm gonna make. Where's my brush? Brush or pencil? Should I use pencil? No, fuck no. Where's your brush? How about this one? Oh, Bezier curves. Oh no, it's like, holy shit. All right, no. My God, they have vectors. It's vectors. It's definitely vectors. Delete. No, delete doesn't work. Fine. How about this? No, not happening. Where's the trash can? Is there a trash can? How about I just do this? Boom. No. How about this? I don't know. I've never used this. Delete. Remove layer. All right. Paintbrush. Like this. Oh, Titus. Just realized I was supposed to write some code already for a couple hours. Why are you here? Go away and write your code. You cannot blame me for for getting in trouble. It was never a bucket. It's a jug. Are you kidding me? Who does that? Who does that? Someone who likes jugs. Because I fed for code in your wish list. Oh shit! Did you really? I'm in trouble now. I gotta make sure my wish list is actually accurate. Okay. I'm not proud. I'm not proud. Okay, wait. I know it has to be pink. Let's make it disturbing pink. This color is now called cringe pink. I don't even know what I'm drawing. I mean, he's sad. We gotta make him happy. No, can't do it. There we go. I am not going to sell it for $9,000 and beat Ringo Starr's MS Paint. It's salmon, by the way. Okay, but you pedantic asshole. God, what are you doing? Taking training from me? Flamingo pink. Oh, fine. Okay, whatever. It's puce. Now we got a we got a raging debate about color names. This is much more fun than editors and language wars. Let's complain about. Let's argue about color names. I might be able to get my wife in on that. She might come and check it out. Exactly, Doppelgangster. See, well done, well done. Congrats. I'm not proud. Okay, wait, this up. Okay, the salmon is approved. It looks pretty damn close to salmon. I won't lie. It does look pretty close to salmon. We need a professional. I know. She's out there. She's out there. Sometimes she tunes in and she'll like come in here, Artibek's wife, and give me shit. Yeah. About my artist wife? Oh, your artist wife approved of the salmon name? Well, there you go. At least one artist. What's the deal with techies and artists, particularly Linux people? You know, I didn't know what that was. I thought this looks like, I don't know, like Bart Simpson hair or some shit. I mean, there's something going on there, you know? Why were we even here? Okay, yeah, so I was at once upon a time, I was trying to decide. I need something besides salmon, I'm sorry. Do I need to save that color because you guys are now so emotionally invested in the color? I mean, I wouldn't want to let you down now. How can I do that? Can I even do that? Select. I want to save it. I'm going to save it. Color name. Oh, look, it doesn't have a name. What if I gave it a name? What if I had salmon? Salmon. Illa. Step your groove back some more salmon. Oh, why not? Oh, wait. It does have a color. Look. Wait. Okay, wait. Wait a second. All right, so no, it's not. I don't want that. I want this. Yes. Okay. So HSV Untitled. What is this here? Oh, look at these Untitles. Can I take over? Can I take this over? Okay, I want that color right there. That's black. That's not it. It's stupid. Oh, because it looked at my. I know I did. It looked at my actual like thing. All right, so that is the color. How do I save it though? You can pass hex to chart. That's true. All right, so just so everybody remembers, it's B86060. I saw that it did that. Yes. Can you pass hex to chat? Yes. Oh, is this gonna? It's gonna become. Is this? It's gonna be. Oh shit! Is this gonna become one of those like channel memes? It's like a channel meme now. It's like the color of. And we'll make shirts that color, and people are like, "Oh my god, what are you wearing?" No, it looks like plasticine. Ask your wife what she thinks of that. Plasticine. That's a fun word to say. Plasticine. So, all right, wait. What are we doing? Wait. We're making circles with no pencil. Yeah, but I need a smaller brush. I need yes. Diameter. We're gonna reduce my girth. All right, here we go. And I don't want to override my brush. I want to save a new brush. No, that's fine. All right, fine. All right, is this better? Yay! All right, Control C. The real 7X line. Yes, I know. I'm aware. Now, this is what happens when they don't have like guidelines. So I need a new color. I'm randomly going to pick this color. So inside of here, this is like your namespace. No, it's not. This is the cluster. I'm going to try this. Wait, why are you not working? All right. Ooh, what's this? Cluster. Stop. Stop. That did not mean that to count out loud, but it definitely did. Cluster. This looks like from the electric company right here. You guys don't even know the electric company. What am I talking about? What's that saving? Zero changes. Yes. Placeholder text. No. I want to move you. Man, this has got lots of stuff that GIMP doesn't have. So we have the outer cluster here. You actually found the color chestnut Crayola. That's exactly what it looks like. Oh my God. We have a true name. This is an independent thing though. Oh shit. I need to make another layer. Ooh, then I'll have layers. I can like do layered effects and shit. Yeah, that's what I need. I need that. Yep. I'm gonna go all the way back. All right. So I'm just practicing. Okay, so this here is the cluster. The cluster. Saved. Close. What the fuck? I just changed you. Oh my God. I didn't need to see that. All right. Cluster. Save. Close. All right. It's enemy. It's an alien eye. So this is the cluster. On the outside of the cluster is, I know we'll put blue sky. No. We'll put red. We need red. Why do we need red? Because of the super, this is not really red, but I hope my wife doesn't come in right now. Please let my wife not walk in. She will make so much fun of me. Paint on this layer. Why? I want to paint on that layer. No? Okay, fine. I'll make a new layer. I'll make a new layer. New layer. There. Take that. Where is the Kubernetes? Exactly. Just like Bob Ross. No, I'm channeling Bob Ross. I love Bob Ross. They finally put him in the Smithsonian. Yeah, there's a documentary about him now. The guy's weird drama in his family. Poor guy. Wow, look at how vibrant that is. All right, so I am not a mouser, in case you can't wonder. In case you're wondering. This is gonna be weird. I just know it. I just know this is gonna end up weird somehow. I don't even deny it. So this here is supposed to be the firewall. You'll never forget this now because this image is gonna be burned in your fucking brain. You're like, seriously, the reason to make a disturbing image is for the sake of education. We're doing it for learning. Make everything the color of blood. They'll remember it better. System and curse. Oh shit. He clips it. It's clipping me. Okay, fine. That's fine. I hear my wife outside. She's getting ready to clean, which means, yeah, she can come in here and see my creation, laugh at me. She'll laugh at me. She'll make me feel small. She doesn't do that. She could. She doesn't. I need another layer. I probably should name the layer. I'm going layer crazy. Layer crazy. I'll put a laser here. So a laser. Did I say laser? No, I meant layer. So yet another layer. This needs to be another color. This is what? This is your service, right? service. I think service should be like greenish. Heureusement, certains sont payés pour dessiner. Yeah. Jim's like, it's hilarious that people are actually paid for drawing. Not me. In case you were wondering, none shall pass. Our firewall is carved in blood. It looks like a brain. Oh, there's like so many critics out there. Surprisingly, documentary was pretty good. It was. The Bob Ross documentary was really great. I loved it. It was mon cœur. n'est pas payé pour dessiner. No, it is pretty funny that I will not pay for drawing. No. I actually will pay. Someone do this better than me, I'll pay you. There, I said it. Remember that whole cell mitochondria shit that I kept talking about over and over and over again? It's like my kid is like corrupted me with Kurzgesagt. He keeps showing me Kurzgesagt videos, and now they're stuck in my head. So all I can think about is like cellular life and how it's in constant conflict with stuff. So I kind of want to make other ones over here, but I need to mute them. I need to make them more gray or something. We noticed the cluster thing. Yeah. Yep. Kurzgesagt is good. It is really good. Yes. If you don't know about it, you should watch it. It's really amazing. What? Now it's like a face. I didn't mean it to be a face, but it is. It's like a semi-Asian face, even more disturbing. So yeah. Play some games with friends. Yeah, guys, go play. Have some fun. See you. So this here is the super specials cluster. That's why it's not darkened. This is a service. As a service. That's what it is. It's a service. Hey, look, I can put this back here. All right. And where's my text? I actually might keep this. Like, why? Why would you keep this? All right. So this is service. Save. Oh, all right. I gotta make you smaller. Service. You're too big. You're too big. I know not how. How do I resize my service? It's got to be this. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Hey, wow. Now we're cooking with gas. I told you my boomer parents taught me that. I have no idea what it means. I guess as opposed to cooking with electricity. For some reason, cooking with gas is better than cooking with electricity. I should try to sell it. Yes, I'm gonna pull this out at I'm gonna do a KubeCon demo. Hey, KubeCon's coming up. Do you like my diagram? Can I share my? Can I has conference talk? Here's my diagram. So you should try this. I probably should mint it as an NFT. What's she laughing at? There's nothing to laugh at here. This is beautiful. I like how the colors work together. Dark. Look, are you gonna forget it? No. You're not gonna forget it, are you? I'm telling you, mnemonic value is underappreciated. What? My text, I can't move my text anymore. Wait. Why can't I move this text but not the other text? Oh, because it's on another layer. Yeah, it's on a whole other layer. Shit. What do I do? Okay. It's a disaster for someone who's codified. I know. I know, and I'm like all about, accessibility, and I suck. I'm just fleshing the idea out. How about that? How's that sound? Okay. There could be actually more than one cluster in here. I mean, to be honest. Should we make a tiny cluster? That's salmon. Look, my colors are saved over here. What? Okay, wait. Where's my salmon clusters? Colors. Oh, here they are. Is this it? Wait, I'm going to tell you right now. Nope, that's not it. How about that one? Nope. How about this one? Nope. How about this one? Yes. Winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Another thing my boomer parents taught me. I have so much shit stuck in my head from advertisements and sayings that my boomer family used to say all the time. I'm not apologizing. I think it's awesome, but you guys won't know what I'm talking about. You guys have shit in your head that you don't understand fully either. I swear to God. I promise you do. We all do. Okay, here we go. This circle. Here comes the circle. Are you ready? I'm going to use the jug. I can't say jug without laughing. 53 going on 12. I've been told that's who I am. All right, so here we go. How am I doing this? I want to show that there's like other clusters potentially in your environment. Maybe you have another one over here. You know? Maybe you have one over here. But they're tinier clusters. You have the really big cluster. That's your big one here. And they're all inside the same firewall. Usually call them asteroids. You've been watching The Expanse. Then we're going to throw them at Earth. Spoiler alert. Earth gets hurt by asteroids. Red and green. I don't know. I just thought of something I can't repeat. That's all I'm going to say. Winner, chicken dinner. Is it hip again? Is it part of PUBG? Are you kidding me? Really? How the hell did that get popular again? Some trypophobia in the chat. Please don't wear small clusters. I forgot that was your thing. I'm so sorry. Allez, j'ai arrêté de te taquiner. J'ai oublié ce verbe. Merci bien de m'avoir... comment ça se dit? Se souvient de ce mot-là, ce verbe. Se taquiner. Se taquiner veut dire to give him shit. Comment dit-on to give one shit en français? Se taquiner. Se taquiner. Allez, j'ai arrêté de te taquiner. Je retourne à travailler. Tu travailles maintenant? On y croit. Fou, quoi. Pourquoi travailler? Enfin, je pense que c'est samedi, n'est-ce pas? C'est un mec très, très sérieux, là. I'm just talking about our French friend who's visiting, Big Jim, who's publicly told us where he's from, and it is a French place. A place that speaks French. So we speak French on occasion here. You have been warned. Service. So what's inside of the service for 20 points? For 20 points. If we put the I can't remember. Namespace. Name of the space. Namespace is kind of like, okay, so now we're kind of getting into our, purple. Purple is nice. Doesn't go well with that, but, and you can have you can have multiple namespaces in the same service. Let me make sure that's right before I do it, because I don't want to have to redo my drawing. This is technically still training. To dessiner sheet. I'm actually kind of scared. I'm going to save it. I don't want to lose it. Pictures. I don't know. What do I call it? Kubernetes layers. Kubernetes cringy layers in my pictures. Salmon. We could call it salmon. Yeah, you won't forget. So what's inside here? Well, I'm gonna do my net shoot again. Yeah, you guys. Oh, I already do have it. All right, here it is. Salmon cut front view. Default svc cluster.local, svc.cluster.local cluster. So if you have a service name, that would come on here. Otherwise, it's a service. A service is the default name for the service, by the way. And then you have default. So this here is the namespace. That's the namespace. And then after that, you have the pod names, deployments, actually. So deployments and pods and stuff. All right. So call them asteroids. Yeah, we could do them. So I have a service. So inside of the service, we have namespaces. These are roughly equivalent to your apps. So we'll make them nice and pretty blue. I need to make at least one of these big, though, because I have to put other stuff in there. I know, I'm like, people are laughing, but I know. So I'm going to hang this in my room. How about you? I am, because I will not forget it now. And we have this little tiny app space right now. It's a tiny little app space. That looks like a paw print. It's a paw print. That's what I see. Okay, so these are namespaces, except for I can't write namespace because I don't know. Maybe I can. I know. What do I do? I know. I'll put this. I know. What is this like this? Okay, namespace. Namespace. There. Save. Yeah, namespace. So namespace is bluish. I mean, you can tell from the color, except for I didn't color coordinate this one. Fuck. Where are you, cluster? Is that you? No. How about this one? No. This one? Yes. All right. You have to die, or perhaps I could rename you. I could recolor you. How about that? I think not. I'm not good enough for that. This is not my forte. So I don't even know how to delete you. I just pushed L and it didn't work. How do I make it go away? What if I... Oh, I can change the color right here. Here we go. Salmon. Where's my salmon? Where's my fucking salmon? Amazon. What the fuck? No, I want this color right here. Can I do it? Why won't you let me pick... Wait. I can do this. Okay. Boom. Yes. The dark salmon. Dark salmon is in the house. I need to go run. Actually, today's strength day. Erg. Save. There. So the Play-Doh looking one is cluster, firewall, cluster, service, namespace. This is kind of cheating because it's not the same color, but that's okay. And inside the namespace we have like deployments and services and shit. Yep. And I'm gonna figure that out. I don't know what code to do. Hiya.
I'd like to make a wonderful announcement.
Okay, everyone can hear you.
I know. Today and tomorrow are the last days where it's going up to 80.
It's only today's last day? What is the temperature right now?
80 something.
I'm gonna tell you. Hang on. My new fancy watch. Actually, the temperature in this room.
Hot.
Yes, it always is. I can't tell you. I don't know.
Okay, well, it says it's going up to like 86 or something today, and tomorrow's like 82 or 84. And
Shit.
then from there on out, it's in the 70s.
It's fall. Go back to fall.
Yes. So,
I'm about to go running myself. I'm just
praise Jesus. That's all I want to
praise
say.
Jesus.
The end is nigh of hot weather.
You look cute.
I'm going to take a shower. I'm really stinky.
Namespace and service are independent. Namespace is not in the service. Yes, it is. It is DNS wise, network wise. Black mouse. So, okay, so help me out. So DNS wise, if I were to name something, if I put something, I can put a name and then a service. So from what I understand, and I don't know this, DNS wise, this is DNS wise. So, right, even though, so this is really like DNS-y kind of things. You know, it does make you wonder why a namespace is bigger on the thing, because you're right, because you can have a service and a namespace outside of it, right? And you missed domain DNS size. Yeah, domain would be outside the cluster, right? So, yeah. This is interesting. Who's the DNS server? Where's the name server? Does it fire off a separate CoreOS implementation for each one, or is this the name server for the entire cluster? I want to say there's a different DNS service for each grouping at some level, and I don't know what that is. This is a big hang up for me. So, see what I mean? Yeah, I'm going to experiment. One of the ways to experiment is to run another net shoot. What? Fine. All right, I'll just do something else. I'll do create. Wait, let's do k create pod ubuntu dash bash. No. Dash FRK create. I can't create. Okay, let's do a deployment. Thing foo image equals ubuntu. Actually, no, let's do image equals alpine. There's an namespace for kubeproxy. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to isolate. So we can just do this. We could say tail-f dev null, and that will give me log k get pods. That should give me at least one pod. And wow, that fired that sucker up fast. You can check IP for VM with Kubernetes. Yeah, I'm doing it the hard way, I guess. She ignored my painting. She didn't see it. I was like very, very sneaky. She did definitely ignore my painting though. So here we go. Here we have. So I have to connect. So k exec it pod no foo dash. I don't think there's a bash in Alpine. Nope. sh. So there I go. cd into slash vd vi etc. Wait, no. Fuck. etc vi resolve. Yep, same IP. So I think it's the different name server. Let me I mean these are things that other people already know, but I'm kind of doing it the hard way. vbox manage guest property enumerate. Grep IP found it. Wow, that is a crazy command. I'm gonna try it just because it looks interesting. I have never seen this command in my life. Guest property enumerate. Would it be minikube? Must be. Oh my god. What the hell is this thing? vbox manage. I gotta put that on my to-do list. I have to put that on my to-do list. Wait, where's my learning? No, I'm gonna make a create. I'm gonna do a Zet for this. I've just been getting lazy with my to-do list lately. Learn about. I didn't know about vbox manage. I am super interested. Does that work in PowerShell and stuff? I bet it does. Docker some tips. Just start. I would install minikube first. I would install VirtualBox and then minikube and then start playing. That's what I would do. I recommend that in the boost, and that's my way to that or Docker Desktop. But I'm no longer recommending Docker Desktop because it's proprietary, and it costs money. It's good, but if you watch the boost videos, if you go to my boost site, the old ones, the 2021 videos, we do Docker Desktop installs, and we do Docker in there and completely. You can go watch that if you want. But I just know that I'm shifting away from Docker Desktop and using Minikube. Minikube comes with Docker built in, and it works on anything. So you have to install VirtualCube, VirtualBox, and then you install, you install VirtualBox first, and then you install Minikube after that. And not only that, but you can do all this Kubernetes stuff as well as all the Docker stuff. So you kind of, two birds with one stone there. You can manage VirtualBox. I had no idea you could do that. Today I learned. Today I learned you can manage VirtualBox stuff through the command line. I really need to learn all about this now that I'm using it for my Minikube driver. I just can think of a million things I want to do with that in terms of like even educational setup and all kinds of stuff. So to do, I already have, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to decide, I'm probably decide if I'm going to put it in a title or not. I'm going to leave that in my title because I want it to pop out. I want people to know that it's not like an informational thing because they're going to get notified that I did that. So anyway, so I'm going to learn about that. That's cool. We still haven't tested though. What have we done? So MK profile. So we have two profiles. We have foo and we have Minikube. And the current profile we're using is Minikube. I wonder if I can actually change it. MK profile. I don't think you can. Foo. Oh, that's the first time I've done that and it's worked. Now I understand what happens. Oh my god. Wait. Okay, get pause. Still there. Was it not doing that before? MK list. Okay, tab. Oh, it's just a bunch of contextual things. So it's like context for Minikube. Awesome. So, I mean, I wonder if they're running at the same time. I don't think they are. I think that's over here. There's a column over here. It says, oh, I'm actually running two at the same time. Oh my God. What does that do to, look at there, 8443. That's so confusing. because it runs on, wait a second. That means there's a desktop dashboard on that. That's what that means. I've been wanting to try this. It's a port forward. Is it really? Shit, is that built in automatically? God damn it. Well, that has to be that way, obviously, because then all the kube command stuff is working. Well, what I don't understand is then how does kube control know that that's what it's connected to? How does it know that's the port? This is something I haven't quite got my head around. I've noticed that for some reason you can swap the port on the Kubernetes API to whatever the fuck, and Kubernetes kubectl just figures it out. And I'm like, how is that possible? It has to know what port it is. And I think it has something to do with service discovery. And I see you're nodding your head, but I don't get it. How does it know what port to connect to? kubectl, is it one of a number of standard ports, or does it just port map the whole fucking thing? Is it saved in the context of kube control? It doesn't look like it to me. There's no listing of it in the kube control that I know of in the context. It's probably in kubeflow or something, but the first time it tries it probably does a sweep to see which one it is. Yeah. That's super interesting. It is part of Minikube. Yeah, but when I'm doing kubectl, oh, I see. I bet you it's in my kubeflow. I get you. I bet you it is. I don't know how safe it is for me to show you us on stream, but yeah. So cube, it's got to be in my kube config. It's in here somewhere. We'll break after port changes and not updating kube config. Yeah, I was just gonna say. Yeah. See, I'm really glad I looked at this, because this is, to me, this is super important. Because if you're not using minikube, see, this is the second time today that I've had a pause moment on minikube. Because minikube is awesome for learning CCAD stuff, but for learning CKA, I want to break because it didn't update my thing. Minikube's doing some magic for me that it wouldn't do in a regular. This is why minikube is not enough to get a CKA certification, because you've got to learn all these things. You got to learn how to do, I don't even know how to do it. I don't even know how to mess with my kube config. I probably should have this thing memorized. I don't know how to mess with it. It's probably QADM, right? And you'd have to make some changes and stuff. Yeah, for CCAD. And I agree with your conclusion on that. And that, but this is what we're doing. Sorry. Oh, we're doing cloud native Kubernetes stuff. This is Docker orchestration. If you know what Docker is, Docker's for containers. If you don't have any idea what that means, just go to kubernetes.io and you can read the opening page there. Have fun hanging out. Yeah, go to bed. It's nice having you. I'll be here tomorrow. And some art. Oh yeah, I know Docker. Yay. Yeah, here's our art. I'm like trying to, this is a DNS kind of thing. I don't know. I don't know. We can let that die. Hi.
What are you getting in trouble for?
Nothing.
What'd you get busted for?
Nothing.
You watching porn? What is that?
I don't know. What do you think?
It looks like you're making a diagram.
What is your first impression?
Well, my first impression was it's a dog's paw because everything is like...
That's what I said. It's a dog's paw right here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Black Mouse's wife is an artist, and apparently she's been laughing hysterically the whole time I've been drawing this, because I have no drawing skills at all. I was like, I want a pen. I'm going to try to get a... Do you know
Why
the way...
don't you use a vector with like the circle tool?
Because it's too clean. You know me. I like that too. I have a question. Remember all those tablets we had once upon a time?
Yeah.
Do you have any clue where they are?
Yeah, I know where they are. I just don't know the password to clean them.
Not those. The Wacom tablets and all that stuff. We have like 5 of them.
Those boxes, they're in the climate control closet.
That
I have to go to the storage unit to get my piece out.
You know that's what I know too. I thought maybe you knew more than that. If you don't.
No.
All right.
They're not in one of your boxes here, I don't think.
I don't know. So I'm trying to
I
decide.
should look.
My point is that if we're gonna be here for another year, we gotta go through
I know.
everything. I think we should probably schedule. You know what? You guys don't care about this. If you do, that's fine. Christmas, we have the Christmas off, right?
Aren't you teaching a class at the Hope Alliance during Christmas?
I would love to teach a class at Hope Alliance, but during the rest of the time, maybe we could. Sometime between now and we got to go in there and just dive in and.
Is this really a we or a you?
No, I'm not just talking about pads. I'm talking about all the other stuff in there.
Yeah, I'm.
Because then didn't you want to downsize
it? On my leisure, we're not going to be. Look, I've done this serious hours of thinking on this.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of time, because at one point I was feeling like
for cleaning it,
that, and the little dent I made
was nothing.
Was not worth.
Yeah.
The effort, and now I'm like, I could have kept those.
Yeah, because we have to rip out all the boxes anyway and go through them all, and then by that time you might as well just move into it.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, fine.
That's all I'm saying. I mean, if there's something you need, it's different.
No, it's fine. It's,
like thinking about the time and
I don't
the
need
reward, it's not worth it for how much effort it would take.
Yeah, totally. I totally agree. I am in total agreement.
Even though you're probably gonna be like, why did we save all this stuff when we did it? But
yeah, I'm in. Amen. Amen. Amen, sister. Ow. All right. So that's that. So it's the best you're gonna get, diagram wise. All right, guys. I'm kind of writing down too. Here's where it tells us that is. So when I do the kconfig, it's telling me what my clusters are, and it's also telling me what ports they're on, and that's where it's getting the hints. And that's actually super important for me. Now I understand. And that way I can just, connect to it. That's why I'm able to do the all the KMS from here. Nice. Man, I've been playing with my Cup or something. I'm gonna go run now. It's 3:12. It's time for me to go run. I'm gonna go have fun and do a bunch of running and probably lifting to try to get healthy and get in. I suggest you do the same. If it's not really late, go to bed. Go to bed. It's time to go to bed. You got to work tomorrow. No, you don't. Sunday. So enjoy it. But I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe you have like a church job or something. I used to. Oh my God. I'm so glad I don't have that. The greatest benefit of not being Mormon anymore. I get my Sundays back. Thank God on heaven for that. You're just being selfish. That's God's time. Don't steal God's time. I know there's somebody out there thinking that. I'm sorry. I don't believe that. I don't care if you believe it. If you don't believe it, it doesn't make it not less true. 1 + 1 is still 2. You don't have to believe in it. It's still true. I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to stop now. I'm going to stop. But I appreciate all your guys' help figuring this stuff out. I actually do think we're learning a lot. I appreciate all these silly visualizations and everything. They really do help me to figure this out, to understand how the pieces all fit together and how to get to them. That's kind of the hard part I've been having. To go to church, but I'm not. And so, study it. Go read it. Read Kubernetes.io. That's all I've been doing. Get it down the VirtualBox, download minikube, start playing. Learn the Linux terminal. Watch some beginner boost if you want. I'm gonna turn the lights off. I'm gonna clean. I'm gonna go running, and lifting or whatever, and then also Sammy Pink is yes, and after all of that, I'll see what I feel like doing. It will definitely involve some amount of Dota, maybe all of the night of Dota. I don't know. I can't say right now. I've got a sliver in my finger, and it's like driving me crazy. Does ever get one of these? Why is it there? I don't know. It just is. Bye. Do 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 do.